YouTube. Hey guys, so thanks so much for hanging out with me again on a Friday night. This is episode 8 of the live stream where I take your lawn care questions and see where I can hang out for a couple of hours and help out as much as I possibly can. So let's see who we have in the house tonight. Let's see. So Michael's checking in, Moro, Sarge, the usual suspects. We have Grace in the house. Tiffany is watching this while she's getting ready for date night. Now, it's true, Tiffany. Probably not too many girls can say that they actually watch a lawn care live stream while getting ready for date night. But hey, I am honored that you all the things you could be watching. You could be looking at makeup tips. You could be doing all kinds of other stuff. You're deciding to watch the live stream. So thank you for the support. And I hope the answers to the questions on your top dressing, on leveling your lawn were useful. If not, throw some questions down in the live stream and I will try to help out as much as I can. Jeremy's in. LG, Mr. Hard Questions. Alan is here. Let's see. Josh, Matt. All right, guys, the usual guys. Hopefully all you guys are doing well. Hopefully your guys' lawns are kind of holding on a little bit, guys. So one thing that's happened here is the lawn at least in Georgia, my lawn, it started to go dormant, but then we got a bunch of rain for 3 days. Actually, let me see. Tuesday and Wednesday it rained really heavy. And then we got weather in the 70s. So the lawn is actually looking really, really nice. I mowed this morning and it's looking pretty awesome. So hopefully a lot of you guys, your lawns are still in decent shape. I've still got a few brown spots in the video update that you guys will see next week. You guys will see the spots. I actually spent a little time pointing those out so you can see the areas where I'm starting to lose the battle, and I also show you where the shade of some shrubs is killing my lawn. I'm not super happy about that. But yeah, let's see what we've got here. Looks like Jeremy, he says that he is narrowing down his reel mower choice between the McLane and California trimmer. You can't lose, man. I mean, if I had to give a suggestion, Jeremy, I would say go with whichever mower you can easily get service in your area. With the McLane and trimmer and California trimmer, you should be good either way. Hey guys, one other thing too, I was making some audio changes prior to the live stream today, so if there's any issues, let me know. It should be sounding good. I tested it to make sure, but just to make sure that if there's any problems, let me know and I'll try and solve them as quickly as I can. But yeah, Jeremy, your point here about trying to narrow down your reel mower to a McLane or California trimmer, really, man, I mean, the thing is, I've never used either of those mowers, so I don't really know which one I would tell you to go with. I can tell you that TrueCut's going to be pretty awesome, and the California trimmer is often compared to the TrueCut. So, if that helps any, that's something you can consider. But really, go with whichever mower you can easily get. Service. That's that would be my suggestion to you as far as making that choice. You're not going to be angry with either one of them. Just whichever one you can get service, that's the one that I would go with. So Alan is chiming in. He says that he's in Canton and that he is his lawn's almost fully dormant. So straight west, a little north, huh? Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that little bit would have made that much of a change, but I guess it's enough. I mean, again, my lawn is still holding on pretty well. Some of the other lawns in the neighborhood started bouncing back a little bit too. So I don't know if it's just this area or we're just being fortunate that we're maintaining good. Our lawns are just staying greener a little longer. So, but yeah. But that's cool though that you're it's not cool that your lawn's going dormant, but it's cool that you're also so nearby. Hey, so Josh, thanks for checking in, man. Let's see who else we have here. Kevin Moro saying technically you're giving us makeup tips for your lawn. Well, I appreciate that, man. I'm glad that you guys are you guys enjoying the live stream and you're getting some value out of it. So that's always good to know. Always awesome. Here's the thing, guys. Think of all the stuff that you guys have learned this year, like all the areas that all the little tips that have helped you improve your lawn just a little bit. Now, the thing you want to remember is starting into next season, like as far as getting your soil test done, improving the soil with like those carbon supplements. Next season, man, you guys are gonna all be hitting the ground running, and it's gonna be pretty sick. So I'm looking forward to hearing how your lawns go. Cool, very, very, very cool. Let's see. So who else do we have here? So Donnell chiming in. The the world's biggest Georgia Bulldogs fan. Thank you, Darnell, for stepping in and hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate it. And let's see, as far as questions go, our first question of the night goes to Kevin D. Jones. He says he's considering an Allett or a Swardsman reel mower. Thoughts? Those two are pretty comparable, Kevin. The thing with both those mowers is I've not used either one of them. I've never mowed with either one of them. But from what I understand, and you guys in the comments can keep me honest here, they both have that interchangeable cartridge system. So if you are looking for a mower that's not just a real mower, but you're looking for something that you can put a scarification package in or something like that, then the Allett or the Swardsman are both great choices. Kind of like what I was saying with Jeremy's question. Really more of his comment is really the decision, how you make a decision on which mower to go with is in your area. Look for go with one that you can get serviced. So I know in Georgia there's a Swardsman's dealer somewhere near me. I think in Beaufort. You guys have been telling me. So if you're going to buy an Allett, make sure there's an Allett dealer or someone or a couple of people that can service that type of mower. Between the two, all things being equal, I am probably more partial to the Allett. I kind of like the way that one looks more. So it's kind of like that I think Allett is British, so it's got that traditional real mower look. But Swordsmans are pretty sweet too. They do a lot of really cool theme colored mowers. So again, either one you're gonna do really well with. So can't really but yeah, congrats, and let me know which one you decide to go with once you decide on one. Let me know what you end up going with so we can celebrate. See, next question we have here is from Josh. He says, Rons, what is a good price for a used Greensmaster 1600? So, like most things in life, Josh, the best answer is it depends. A Greensmaster, you can pay anywhere between $1,500 for one, all the way up to $3,500, $4,000 for one, depending on how well it was taken care of, the age, the hours on it, all these kinds of things. So all those things really matter as far as picking out a good mower. Here's the thing: when you're more towards the $1,500 range, the thing you have to realize is you have to be ready to put some money into it. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say, like, if you're going to buy one that's on the cheaper end of that, like say $1,500, I would not buy a Greensmaster at that price and not expect to make sure that you may have to change some belts on it. You may have to get the reel and bed knife taken care of, getting that freshened up. So those are some things to consider. As far as a price that I would consider a good price, that's not likely to not need a lot of service. Or if you're gonna get one from a reputable, like used Greensmaster dealer, where you're gonna get a mower that you're just gonna be able to hit the ground running with, probably expect to pay north of $2,000, so $2,000 to $3,500, somewhere in that space. I got mine from a place called Prairie Turf Equipment in Manitoba. I think they're in Canada. So mine came all the way from Canada, but shipping it took like 4 or 5 days to get here. It didn't take very long, all the way from Canada to Georgia. Their price was really good. You pay a little bit of duty bringing it across the border, but these guys deal in pretty high quality Greensmasters that are coming off lease. So as far as where it was, if you guys are interested in seeing what their website looks like, I can show you that here. If I can, and equipment, if I can type properly and get that to come up. All right, so this is where I got mine. So Josh, if you're in the market and you're fine with dealing with a little bit of import duty and having it shipped to you, shipping wasn't too expensive. I think shipping was it was a couple $100. That wasn't too bad. It gets brought in on a truck. These guys deal in some really nice pre-owned Greensmasters. So yeah, just give them a look. I think the guy's name that I dealt with, his name is Greg, and expect to pay anywhere between again $2,000 all the way up to $3,500, depending on age, quality, all this kind of stuff. So hopefully that helps. I love mine. I mean, outside of having the one belt break, mine's been rock solid, and some of that honestly is probably due to it just sitting around a long time. Like my mower that I got, remember, it only had just over 200 hours on it when I got it. So, and it's a 2014 model. So think about that. Like I've put like 50 hours on it already this year, just the little time I've had it. So that mower did not get a lot of use. So the belt's probably just dry rotted. So, but yeah, anyway, that's where I would recommend getting one. And 2,500 to around just under 4,000 shipped is about what you should expect to pay. So great question. Let's see. Matt saying he's in Utah and he is starting to go dormant due to cold temps last week. So greener than their neighbors. Yep, that's pretty awesome, man. Again, in Georgia, we are fortunate in the sense that it is November the 13th, Friday the 13th, and we're still pretty green outside. I've got a couple brown spots, but still fairly green. Josh, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I really appreciate it.
Super chat received.
Always generous. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support, sir. Yeah, so Alan chimes in. He says that the McLane is really nice. Neighbor mode now had one. It was quite nice. No sore thumb for sure. Yeah, that's a good point, Alan. So that is one thing with the True Cut that what I would have to say is can be a negative is that with the True Cut, that thumb, it's got thumb controls, and when you first get one, that first season or halfway through that season, you are going to get a little bit sore thumbs, having to to hold that in, especially if you're kind of feathering it. Because I never lock my drive all the way in, so that's kind of takes some getting used to. But once after a couple of months of using it, you're not gonna notice a difference at all. But yeah, great. That's a great point. Something I didn't point out. I forget that fact, Alan, because it doesn't bother me anymore with my True Cut, but that's something to consider. With a True Cut, you are going to have a sore thumb, a sore right thumb, typically, for first half of the season or so. Kevin, thank you so much for the super chat, sir. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the support.
Super chat received.
All right. So next question, follow-up question is from Sarge. He says, I put down some CarbonPro G twice now. Good. Twice is better than once. First bags clumped really bad, but the second bags are much better. Has anyone else had this problem? So I've had that happen one time with me, Sarge, and that was actually in, I guess if you actually remember in this Fix My Lawn series, looking at Alex's lawn, there was one video where we put down the CarbonPro G, and the second bag that we put down had that issue. And I think what it is if there's any kind of puncture in that bag, like if it's severed in any way, moisture will get in there, and then that's going to make it clump up. But I put down a lot of it since then. I can't tell you how many bags. I've put it down probably. I've probably been six applications or so since then, and no issues at all. So I think as long as you get a bag that you make sure that bag is sealed, you shouldn't have an issue with clumping. I think that the clumping issue you're getting is from moisture and not necessarily a deficiency so much with the product. So great. Okay, so let's see. Tiffany hanging out contact details of her buddy Grace. All right, and let's see. Jeremy says, oh, it's not Jeremy. He says, hey, I just dropped some CarbonPro G and some ant killer. Anything else you'd recommend putting down until spring? Not really. I mean, let's look at your soil test results and see what those say. If you've not gotten a soil test done, like here's the thing. So like the kinds of things that you want to fix in your soil test, in your soil are if your pH is off. Like say your pH levels are a little bit low, we can get that lime down now and start improving your lawn. So improving your soil, which is going to help you do better in the spring. So things like that you absolutely can do. I mean, as long as your lawn is still actively growing, really you can apply anything that your soil test results are telling you. Now, if your nitrogen levels are like anemic, like you got no nitrogen, and the soil test is telling you to put down like a super heavy application of nitrogen, I might wait to do that until you're winterizing the lawn. So whenever you get your first frost and you're going to decide you're going to have to put down my winterizer or something to put the lawn to bed and feed it until spring, like a heavy nitrogen application. When I say heavy, anything over say 15% nitrogen, I would wait until your winterizer to do that. But outside of that, man, just look at your soil test results. And based on what those come back with, go to town. I mean, the better condition you can get the soil in now, the better your soil is going to be in the spring. I mean, pretty much the last time I had soil test results that were way out was only a couple of years ago, because I typically feed the lawn all the way until it goes dormant. And then in the spring, it wakes up and it's just happy to rock and doing really well. So make sure, focus on getting really, really good soil. And that's going to go a long way towards making your lawn, having your lawn in really good condition when the spring rolls around. All right. So Tiffany is chiming in. She's not yet left for her date. She says, hey man, I have so many lumps in my yard, and I know everyone says level from a high spot, but it looks like I have multiple bodies in my yard, buried in my yard. How can I make this look graceful? Okay, so I think now, Tiffany, if memory serves me, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think you tilled your lawn, right? Didn't you take like a tiller to your lawn or something like that? So if you did that, here's the bad news. I wish I could give you good news, but the good news is it'll get better. The bad news is it's going to take time. So whenever you till your lawn, even after you're finished tilling it, and if you think you stamped it down, it looks all level, it's still going to end up lumpy, because like once when you till it, like it takes a while for the lawn to settle back down, for all that dirt that you basically loosened up to settle in, and it settles at different rates. So it's not uncommon for you to have uneven spots in your lawn. The depending on how bad it is, I'm not sure if you can send me pictures of it. If you can, or post a video, because I know you have a YouTube channel. If you've got things on your YouTube channel, just throw that in the comments and I'll go look there. But if not, send me pictures of what you're dealing with as far as like the unevenness. Here, this is my email address, ron@ron-henry.com. Send it there, and we can see what we're dealing with. The best result I think you're going to get is probably from top dressing. I really would want you to till again, because that's just resetting things, So I mean, if the lawn is still dirt, like the grass doesn't start growing yet, maybe you can literally take a shovel and move some of that material around and try and level it as much as you can. But tilling it is going to produce an uneven lawn, unfortunately. So that's just that's par for the course. I would just take this time as, it's the lawn's not going to look great, and that's just the way it is. But I'm going to take this time to level it as much as I possibly can to get things looking as good as possible. So just kind of surrender this time, so that in the spring you're going to be looking really good. So sorry I don't have a better answer for you, but once you introduce tilling or anything like that, that's kind of what you could be dealing with. So we got Sunny checking in, Princess Cut Lawn Care, and Chris Balducci is also in the house. So guys, thanks for chiming in. Thanks for taking some time out of your oh so busy schedules to come hang out with me for a little bit. And speaking of Princess Cut Lawn Care, in case you guys just can't get enough of hearing me yap, which I'm sure sometimes you get tired of it. Tomorrow night, if you guys haven't been following George's channel, Princess Cut Lawn Care, he hosts a video podcast called America's Top Lawns, and I guess he is running out of people, because somehow yours truly is going to be on the podcast tomorrow evening. So if you guys are looking for some place fun to hang out, you don't have anything to do on a Saturday night, check out George's live stream. It's going to be on at 8 Eastern Time, 7 Central. I think that's correct. George, correct me if I'm wrong. You're in the chat. And we're just going to talk about lawn care, and it's going to be like a video podcast. So if you're looking for something else to do, feel free to check that out. Come over there and support him. Awesome stuff. All right, so let's see what other questions we have there. Tiffany, hopefully that the answer was useful, and if not, just let me know, and I'll chime back in and give you some follow up. All right, so our next question is from Carlos Nieto. He says, "Hey Ron, just south of you here in Grayson. My lawn is still retaining its color. Been cutting with the Allett at 3/4 of an inch. Pound it. Nice. I like it. What are your thoughts on winterizing like other YouTubers mentioned?" So if by winterizing you mean like putting a heavier application of nitrogen as the lawn is about to go dormant to feed it throughout the winter months, and then you have some nitrogen to have it wake up in the spring, then yes, I am for that. As far as like specific winterizer products, the big thing that I think that you should put down whenever you're trying to achieve the goal that you're talking about is something that has around 20, what I go with is around 25% nitrogen. So for my winterizer, my last fertilizer, my last heavy fertilizer application of the season, I've used 2 products. I've used the ProScape from Lebanon Turf, which I know it's kind of hard, that's a difficult one to find, but one that is easy for you guys to find is the Scott's Green Max. That one is I want to say it's a 2704 or 2702. So it fits the bill of being primarily nitrogen. It's got a little bit of iron in there, a little over 5% iron in it. And that's a good winterizer type fertilizer. But really, what I would do is get a soil test done. So here's the thing. If your soil is not where it needs to be, and your results are telling you that you need to add a heavier nitrogen application, use that time to do it. So if you got to go up a little heavier, save that until that first frost hits and you decide to winterize or put the lawn to bed. Then good to go. So yeah, so if that is what your question is around winterizing, then yes, I am a fan of doing that. I have done it, but I don't necessarily think you need to go out and buy a specialized product that's labeled winterizer to accomplish that. Just put something down that has 25% nitrogen thereabouts, or put down whatever your lawn needs based on your soil test results. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps, sir. All right. Princess Cut Lawn Care chiming in the house. He says, hey, Ron, what's up? Getting my McLane serviced costs an arm and a leg. $500. Good Lord, man. For $500 for a reel. No bueno. Wow. Wow. That's a lot. I don't think even like a replacement reel for a Greensmaster is that much. I wonder why the McLane costs that much. I mean, it could be that they're not that common, so maybe that's what it is, or they got that special metal or steel in the reel. I don't know, man, but that's painful. So that's something else to consider, Jeremy, or anyone else that's considering a reel mower. In addition to finding a place nearby that can service this, also make sure that you consider what it's going to cost to get it serviced. Like a good example, like my True Cut cost me right around $200 all in for the season. So that's an oil change, that's a spark plug change, that is the reel and bed knife freshened up, and the mower pressure wash. It's all good to go. So that's like $200 is what it cost me for the season. I think if I just did the reel, if I went to like Reel Works or a place that specializes in that, I'd probably be closer to the $100 mark. But I just do everything like once per season, and the lawn mower runs pretty well. So just something else to consider for those of you guys that are looking to get into a mower. That consider the cost of getting things fixed. Let's see. Homes Ever After says Swardsmans are cheaply made. So that might chime in. So Homes Ever After, did you have a Swardsman and not have good results with it, or I guess what makes you say that? Is it just that you're not a fan of the quality, or what? But I mean, yeah, if you can give me a little more context. Meister of the Lawn, yeah, man, no problem being late. I'm glad that you decided to take some time out of your schedule to come hang out. And if you guys are enjoying the live stream, I know we're a little early in, but if you on your way in, make sure you guys hit that like button. It tells YouTube, hey, there's a bunch of crazy lawn care nuts hanging out on YouTube, and send some more people our way. So if you guys want to do that, I would most appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. And speaking of reel rollers, this week it couldn't work out because of scheduling, but next week, hopefully I'm going to get a chance to go down to Reel Rollers and visit and check out their facility, and hopefully they'll answer some questions, let me film and do some of the stuff like that. I don't know. I may just be going there just to visit, but I'm going to take my camera rig with me, and hopefully if you guys are watching Reel Rollers, I really would like the opportunity to film and talk a little about what the services you guys offer, the kind of mowers you guys offer. Ask the age-old question: what is the best reel mower? What is the one that everyone should go with? Because I'm sure they're going to have some insights on what's good, what's not good, and whatnot. So hopefully that's going to happen next week. Hopefully we can get all the schedules to align to make that happen. Very cool. So Josh, my Greensmaster was just right all in, just shipped, was right around $3,000, right? Just over $3,000. So not cheap, but it was a very, very low hours unit. So I mean, 2,000, you figure 200 hours for a 2014 unit, practically, I'd say new, but in very, very good shape. So that's what I ended up paying for mine. Nieto says, yeah, the closest Allett dealer is in South Carolina. See, so for me, says you can mail them with cartridge. You can mail them there for service if you need sharpening or bed knife grinding. So here's the thing. I mean, yes, but if again, a place like Reel Rollers or anyone that specializes in like doing grinds on reel mowers, like ones a shop that sharpens a lot of reel mowers, they probably can do it. I imagine that that's not so specialized that they're not going to be able to do that particular thing for you. But yeah, see, for me, that would be a deal breaker. I don't want to have to ship my mower out or ship parts of my mower out to get it serviced, because if you do that, I mean, you're taking a lot of chances. One, there's the cost of shipping it. There's a chance of it getting damaged, either going there or coming back. There's a chance of, even if it gets there, when they're shipping it, coming back, if it gets dropped or something, it can get out of adjustment. So yeah, that'd be a hard one for me to swallow, as far as having to ship my parts of my mower out to get it worked on. So yeah, but yeah, thanks for chiming in, Carlos. That's a great point. So Meister Milan says, what's the best product to get rid of dollar weed? There's a lot of different products that'll do that, Meister. I want to say Spectracide will do that. Let me check here of the various ones. Yeah, so there's a couple of products that'll do it. If you need a pre-emergent, you can use a Spectracide Weed Stop. So this guy, let me bring it up here. I'm going to show you guys that wrong window. Yeah, so this one, if all you need is if you need a pre-emergent as well, then this is a great product. If you don't need a pre-emergent, then this one, the Weed Stop, which is this guy is only a selective herbicide. So the one that I just showed you before, the granular, that has that's both a pre-emergent and post-emergent. It only controls around 200 weeds. This one that goes on the hose end is just purely a selective herbicide, doesn't contain any pre-emergent, and this guy will take care of dollar weed. Like it says 470 weeds, so it's got, I forget how many active ingredients are in here. So you got like you got some quinclorac. Let me scroll so you can actually see that. Yep, so you can see here you've got quinclorac, dicamba, sulfentrazone. You've got a bunch of different active ingredients in this, so it's a good combination product that's going to knock out a lot of weeds. And it's one, you can get it locally, and it's pretty safe to use on your lawn. If you can't get it locally, so shameless plug here. If you can't get it locally and you are looking to get it, if you're looking for an option of getting it on Amazon, feel free to use my affiliate link, which are this. So you've got both the one for Weed Stop with the pre-emergent, and then one that is just the selective herbicide. So, but again, both of those, the reason why I like those products is one, they're kind of hard to mess up, and then two, is you can get both of them typically at your local Home Depot or Lowe's. So you can find them locally, so you don't have to go out and pay shipping or order on Amazon if you don't want to do that. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that's helpful. All right, Donnell asked a question. He says, "Hey Ron, I saw a product called Humichar Organic Soil Amendment and Humic Acid made by Anderson. It's on Amazon. Have you ever heard of this?" I have heard of it, Darnell. I have heard of it. I've not personally used it. The one thing I will say about it, I want to say that's the product that's like $80 a bag. Let me make sure I'm not telling a lie here. I think that is the one. It's pretty, it's fairly expensive for my eye for what it is. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, Humichar. Yep, Humichar. I think this is the one. So that the issue with that for me is it's close to $80 a bag if memory serves, and it's not really that much better of a product than what you would get, what you would pay for with the CarbonPro G. So here you go. This is the guy that you're talking about. Let me pull that up. See if I got a picture here. So this is the one he's referencing. So yeah, so that product there. Now they say it treats a lot of square footage. They say up to 40,000 square feet. So that's kind of cool. But again, it's not an inexpensive product, as far as price. Look at that. You're looking at $85 for a bag of this stuff. Whereas CarbonPro G, you are looking at close to, help me out here. You're looking at just right around $30 a bag, $25 to $30 a bag. So you can buy 3 bags of CarbonPro G for the price of just this product. And you're getting the biochar, you're getting the compost, and you're also getting the microbial package that's in Miramichi Green's BioSpectrum product. So you're getting like 3 products in one, and it's like a third of the price. Now, granted, CarbonPro G treats, one bag is rated to treat 8,000 square feet. So yeah, so I guess it's coverage wise. If their coverage is good, is what you can actually go by. Their product actually covers probably a little bit more, but again, it's from my mind, it's pricey for what it is. I've had really good luck with the CarbonPro G. It's really easy to find locally, and from what I've also heard about this product too, about the biochar, with the Humichar from Anderson's, is if you can find it locally, like if you're not paying the shipping, the price is a lot better. But if you're paying to ship it, it's a little bit of a harder pill to swallow for me. When there are other products that offer the same or better performance, because from what I'm not sure if this has a microbial package in. I think this is just Humichar, or sorry, just biochar. So whereas with the CarbonPro G, you also get a microbial package as well. So there's actually more in the CarbonPro G, and it's a bit cheaper. So just something to consider. I mean, not knocking the product. I've never used it. It may be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but compared to its competition, it seems a little bit expensive. So I'll just leave it at that. All right. Let me catch up here. I'm probably behind on my questions. Let's see. let's see what Mara comes up here. He says, "Are there usually Black Friday discounts for the lawn care community?" I hear Bunny Sunny Bermuda saying he's seen some discounts. I don't know. I'd imagine like Amazon. I would imagine Amazon probably runs some discounts around Black Friday. That might apply to lawn care products. If anyone else is going to do that, I imagine my own or do your own will also run something. I don't have any insider knowledge. I don't know for sure, but those are those I would check with. I check with Amazon. I would check with your own, do my own, and see what they have. Those are some of the bigger dealers out there as far as like just lawn care products. I don't know if like your local Site One is going to run anything. I can call them and ask them, and something I can talk to you about next week. But I don't know for sure. But I would just go with Amazon and see what they have up for that. All right. Next question we have here is from Matt DeGoyer. He says, "Do you have any recommendations to reduce worm castings? They are impeding grass growth." Where do the worm castings come from? I mean, are you talking about like grub worms? The thing that I would recommend is to put down a product that's going to kill them. It's going to suppress them. So like a good insecticide, like there's two products that I like. If you want both a fungicide and insecticide, the Caravan G is a good product, Matt. If all you're looking for is just to target grub worms, then the Acceloprin product is a good product. That I think Syngenta makes that as well too. So let me see here. I'll put that up. So for grub worms, this guy. So yeah, because I mean, once you eliminate them or you knock them back, then you should have less issues with worm castings. Like I think Alex, even on his lawn, here's the thing. This is the first season that he's really done any major work to his lawn as far as insecticides, fungicides, those kinds of things. And I think we applied Caravan G twice, if memory serves, and we've only seen a couple of worm castings. So he hasn't had a big problem with it. So using a good quality insecticide definitely does help. And that's what I would go with. Either Caravan G, which is a combination, or that Acceloprin that's a baller product. It's got two different active ingredients. That's going to knock out whatever you're dealing with, and that should definitely help. Let's see. You're very welcome, Carlos. You're very welcome. Let's see. Chris chimes in. He says he sent my first soil test to my soil on Tuesday. Now awaiting the results. May need your expertise. Absolutely, Chris. Whenever you get your soil test results back, shoot me an email here at ron@henry.com. Send me an email. I will look at your results and we can go over some options for improving your lawn. For any of you guys that are wondering what Chris is talking about as far as soil tests, this is the soil test kit that I am a big fan of. It's from My Soil. Super easy to use. And the best part about this thing, this guy only costs just under $30, and they turn the results around really quickly. So if Chris mailed his soil test in on Tuesday, by Wednesday of next week, I would imagine he's going to have an email with his results. So that's the thing. The results are really easy to read. They offer recommendations, and they're fast. So if you need a soil test and you're looking for one, feel free to check out right here, ron-henry.com/soil test. That's a link that'll take you to My Soil, so you can pick up one of these guys. And again, I really like their soil test kits. I've had really good results with them on my lawn, on Alex's lawn. And they, and again, if you get a soil test results back and you need help with looking over them and getting product recommendations, shoot me an email. I mean, even if you don't use one from a soil test, from My Soil, even if you don't use my link to get it, doesn't really matter. If whenever you guys email me and ask questions, it's way easier to help out if you include soil test results, because otherwise I'm just kind of going, maybe some nitrogen, maybe some, maybe some iron. We'll guess and see. So soil tests really are a tool that you really got to make use of if you really want to, if you're serious about getting your lawn in order. And it's only $30. So totally worth doing. All right. So let's see. LG says there's 30. LG is right. He says there's 30 people on there, but only 5 likes. Can we get the like count up? Okay, we're up to 18, LG. So I see by the time I saw this, you started putting the like hammer down. So yeah, guys, definitely do that. If you guys are enjoying the live stream, do me a favor, hit that like button. It really helps me out, helps the algorithm out, lets YouTube know that people are enjoying it, and they send people our way to come hang out with us. All right, DJ Kid. Hey, man, thanks for stopping in tonight. Appreciate you taking some time out of your evening to hang out. All right, Homes Ever After. He says, "Hey, I started with a True Cut and graduated to a John Deere 220 SL. That is a nice reel mower. Day and night difference in quality. I test drove a Swardsman before I purchased the JD and was not impressed with the Electra." Okay, so here you have someone here that's actually tried a couple of different mowers. He had a True Cut, he got the John Deere, and then he's tried out the Swordsman, and overall, it sounds like he's really enjoying the JD. So hopefully you guys also saw the video I did, I think I put out Monday, on my manual reel mower. So really when it comes to mowers, guys, to manual reel mowers, or to reel mowers in general, in my mind, there's three tiers. So you have the manual push reel mower. So like your Scott's 20-inch, my beloved Scott's 20-inch, some of the ones from Earthway, the Fiskars, those are all good options for a manual push reel mower. Once you move into the powered reel mowers, then you have like your True Cut, your McLanes, your California trimmers, which are all excellent mowers, produce an excellent quality of cut. I would probably put the Allett and the Swardsman probably slightly above the True Cut and the McLanes as far as the quality of cut they can produce. Just based on what I've seen online or seen on videos of people that have that mower. And then finally, the third tier is a greens mower. So depending on which one you go with, it doesn't really matter if it's Toro or it's a John Deere. Like those mowers are going to produce the best quality of cut, but they're also the most hassle to deal with because they're designed to work on golf courses. So when you bring them on your home lawn, you got to put transport wheels on to move them in and out. And if you have obstacles, they're kind of a pain to deal with, that kind of thing. But as far as quality of cut, greens mowers of any brand, really, Toro, JD, whoever else makes them. There's a lot of other companies that make them. But JD and Toro are some of the more common ones. Those are going to produce your best cut, and then down to your True Cuts and McLanes and California trimmers, and then finally your manual reel mowers. But the big thing though, guys, any reel mower, if it's sharp, is going to do a good job cutting your lawn. You're going to get really good results with it. So yeah, hope that helps. Oh, DJ Kid, that's awesome, man. So, guys, if you guys remember, DJ Kid last week chimed in. He was wondering had some grub worms, and he wanted a quick fix. And I recommended the Accelerprim, but I also said, hey, if you want something else, you can probably find locally. Try out that Grub X. I think that's a Scott's product. And I'm glad to hear that worked for you, man. So yeah, and here's the thing: a lot of those products typically have similar active ingredients. So if you're buying the Accelerprin, it's a more boutique product in the sense that it probably has slightly higher concentrations of the active ingredients to kill the grub worms, and that one has two. But the Grubex got the job done, so that's all you can hope for, right? That's all you can hope for. Oh, we got some a little bit of back and forth in the comments here. Princess Cut's trying to find out what At Homes didn't like about the Electra. So you guys listen, guys. Remember, we are on the same team, even though let's not get into this whole like my reel mower is better than your reel mower thing. Make sure you guys are nice in the comments. We can have thoughtful disagreement about which mower is best. So you guys have fun while you're doing that. All right. So Thomas Axmont says, any ideas how to kill my neighbors invading Sanog in my beautiful Bermuda? That's a good question. I have to look into this. Hopefully LG or maybe someone else will chime in as far as what herbicides you can use on St. Aug that will not kill Bermuda. I'm not sure of one off the top of my head, but I'll look into that, Tomax, and I'll get you an answer. Tell you what you can do is if someone in the chat doesn't chime in with the answer to that, feel free to drop me an email here, ron@ron-henry.com. Email me there, and I will I'll let you know, because most of the products that I look at as far as herbicides, I tend to focus on herbicides that will that kill weeds and not necessarily grass. Now I know that the Spectracide will kill or is not safe to use on certain types of St. Augustine. It's I think it's the Floritum type or whatever it is, that it's not safe to use on it. It can damage those. But as far as something that is selected that will target St. Aug and not damage Bermuda, let me do some research on that, unless someone in the comments knows off the top of their head and can give that to him, because I don't want to recommend something that's going to damage on it. Also, shoot me an email, and that way, if I don't get your answer, you don't get an answer in the chat, or by the end of the live stream, I'll email you with a good product. So thanks for your question. It's a good one. Okay, let's see. David Granger says, hey, don't own a house yet, but I love your content. Well, thank you, David. I really appreciate you taking some time out to watch the content, even though you don't have yet a house. You'll get one day. And because once you do get your house, you're gonna know exactly how to create an amazing lawn, and I would recommend if you're living, I don't know where you live, what part of the country you're in, but if you're in the South, go with that Bermuda, man. There's people who are gonna try and tell you to get on like Kentucky Bluegrass Life or a Rye or something like that. You really just wanna stick with the Bermuda. I mean, the Zoysia is pretty, but it's not rough and tumble like the Bermuda. So again, all this may be completely not applicable because you may live like in Oregon or somewhere up north, but if you have a choice, Bermuda is an awesome grass type. All right. Let's see here. So Jeremy's decided McLane it is. That's what he's going with. Yeah, you're not gonna hate that. You're not gonna hate the McLane, Jeremy. So uh, good that you've made your final decision. All right. Yeah. So Tomax is chiming in too. He says, so he's used the Humichar, but the CarbonPro G is way better value, and I agree with that. Again, I don't. Here's the thing: you want to go with products on your lawn that you can use regularly and use a lot of, and can build up so you can get the benefits over time. The nice thing about CarbonPro G, the thing that I love about it, and I actually I took some grief over this when I first made a video about it, is that it contains no NPK. And people were saying, oh, well, this product from so-and-so has got carbon, it's got nitrogen in it too, so it's better. And I'm like, not really. And here's why. The beautiful thing about using a product that is just strictly a soil amendment, something that only contains that carbon and I'm drawing a blank here. The carbon, the biospectrum, the microbial package, and the compost. That's what I was trying to say. And the compost is that you can apply that fairly regularly. There's not really a limit to how often you can apply it. I've gotten in contact with Miramichi Green. I asked them. I said, at what point is too much when it comes to CarbonPro G? So whenever you decide you're gonna apply, say money were no object, you could go out and buy like a dump truck worth of this stuff. How much would be the point where you're probably going to see less benefits? And they said in their testing, when you got to around 100 to 120 pounds per 1,000 square feet applied, which is a ton, that's where you're probably at the point of diminishing returns. So the big thing is that you can apply it as much as your budget allows, and it's something that you can put down spring, summer, fall, winter. I wouldn't apply it when the ground is frozen, but you can apply it year round. And it's, again, my lawn looks incredible for this time of year. The big thing that I can really say is that the carbon. I mean, if I look at the other lawns in my neighborhood, you guys see in the update videos that I show you guys, how much greener my lawn and Alex's lawn, because we've done the same thing on his lawn, how much greener our two lawns are in comparison to the lawns around us. And I mean, honestly, our lawns are babied a lot. They're mowed a lot. That definitely helps. But for me, where the only thing I've really made a major change in this year was that CarbonPro G, I'm definitely a believer, and it's not cost prohibitive. So yeah, and again, I'm sure Humichar is a great product. Anderson's makes a lot of great products. I'm not hating on their products. I'm sure they make a solid product, but it's value for money, right? Because it's not like a one and done type thing. It's not like top dressing where you top dress your lawn and you may or may not have to do it again. Like, this is something, if you're serious about lawn care, you're gonna be buying a lot of this stuff. So you want to use something that is not too painful to the bank account. I mean, Lord knows we spend enough money between our mowers and everything else on this on this hobby of ours that we could save a little bit of money on product. We might as well do that. Let's see. So Alan chimes in. He says, "Yep." So they both end up around the same cost per 1,000 square feet, with 40,000 square feet at the low rate. Okay, so that's fair. So I guess if you compare them from a square footage standpoint, they're similar. However, the CarbonPro G still also contains this. It contains their biospectrum, their microbial package, which is going to help break down what any kind of fertilizers or any other amendments or products you apply to your lawn. So that's another check mark in the CarbonPro G bucket for me. But I mean, I see what you're saying, that if you depending on how you do the math, the Humichar is not that much overpriced. But I see what you're saying. But good, thanks for chiming in, Alan. Great comment. I appreciate that. Let's see. Mike Wash says, "Have you heard anything about Rio Bermuda? I've been trying to decide between Rio, Arden 15, and Monaco. What are your thoughts? I live in Texas." Okay, so I don't know. I'm not sure where in Texas you are, but I've not had any experience with Monaco or Rio. I've have heard from people that have Monaco that they really enjoy. I've gotten some emails from some viewers that have Monaco as their Bermuda grass type, and they love it. I don't have any experience with Rio, so I can't really speak to that one. Arden 15, I'm a huge fan of. I can tell you that between Arden 15 and Princess 77, like the formulation or the makeup of that seed was improved in the sense that the germination was better. It definitely took a lot better, faster than the Princess 77 did, and it's also spread throughout the lawn more quickly than the Princess has. So if you guys are following the series that I'm doing, I'm filming this fall where I'm comparing the dormancy rates between Tifway 419 and Arden 15. You'll see that a lot of the lawn has got Arden 15 throughout. It's not everywhere yet, but it's spread quite a bit. Pretty quickly in comparison to the Tifway to the Princess 77, it didn't move around quite that much. So I don't think. Here's the thing: I don't think you're going to go wrong with any of them. They're probably all great grass types. The Arden 15 is kind of the new kid on the block, and from my personal experience from using it, it's a great seed. I don't know what the price difference is between the Monaco and the Rio. I know that Arden 15 is kind of pricey. They're proud of it. You're looking at like a little over $400, $420 thereabouts for 25 pounds of it, which will cover up to 25,000 square feet if you go at their rate. So, depending on how big of a property you're dealing with, that may weigh in as well. So, sorry I can't be more help, Mike, because I haven't tried any of those other cultivars, but I honestly think you're going to be happy with any of them. Based on where you are, look and see which zones the Rio and the Monaco work better in, and just go with that. I mean, Texas, you're probably same band as me, so I think any of them are going to work just fine. I think any of those are going to work just fine. LG saying Princess uses a vacuum to clean up his worm castings. Savage. Let's see. Very, very cool. Let's see what other questions we have here. Matt, you're very, very welcome. I'm glad that the question on worms, on what to do with the grub worms, is useful. That's the thing, guys. Grub worms are one of those things that you definitely, like I say, lawn fungus, and grub worms are two things you do not want in your lawn for two reasons. One, they can destroy your lawn really, really quickly, make a huge mess of it. And they're difficult. It takes a long time to recover from. Like if you over apply something to your lawn, like say you over apply like a nitrogen to your lawn, or if you've got some kind of weeds in your lawn, right? A weed problem in your lawn is typically, if you're unfortunate and you have like a Bermuda, if you're unfortunate and you have like something like spurge, we have to use something kind of hardcore to get rid of it. It's a 2-week problem. Spurge, you can put down like dismiss and speed zones, smoke it out, it's gone. The lawn's going to get discolored for a week and a half. And if it's Bermuda anyway, then it'll bounce back. Whereas like a fungus problem or a grubworm problem could be something that you're going to be dealing with all season. So those are two things that whenever if you have any inkling that you have that kind of issue, you want to knock it out really quickly. That's why like every season, regardless of whether my lawn needs it or not, it gets a fungicide and it also gets an insecticide. Because I just don't want to deal with grubworms. I just don't want to even remotely take the chance of having them in my lawn. So great stuff, guys. Great questions. Let's see. What other questions do we have here? So Brooklyn Boy says, "Hey, just had my soil sample results. They recommend a triple 14. Where can I find it?" I don't know if there's a triple 14 on Amazon. Let's see what we've got here. If Amazon has a triple 14 fertilizer. I don't see one, but what you can use then is like triple 10s are fairly common, Brooklyn Boy. And if you can find a triple 10, you can go with that too. I mean, it's like the little 4% difference in nitrogen is not going to make a huge difference. So yeah, you could just go with find a triple 10, which are pretty common. You might even be able to find a triple 10 locally at your local Home Depot or Lowe's if you have one of those nearby, which most people do, and just put that down. That you should be absolutely fine with a triple 10. What you could do is you could do it the triple 10 at full rate, and then do another application at like half rate. So then you're kind of ending up with like a triple 15 of sorts. So you're going a little bit heavier, but that'll get you closer there. So my point is that it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be exactly a triple 14. Triple 10 is going to be a little bit light, but it's going to help you move you in the right direction. And you can always just do an application and then another half app, and you'll be just fine. It's not that particular, that if you go with a slightly different one, you're going to have not have a good result. Let's see. Chris Balducci chimes in. He says, "Would you recommend that if I never had any type of reel mower, to go with a push reel mower first before getting a powered reel mower, or is it okay just to bite the bullet and get a powered reel mower first?" No, I would just, if you're fine with it. In other words, if you know that reel mowing is for you and you want to go that route, then absolutely just go for it, man. I wouldn't. There's no reason like to go from a push reel mower to a power reel mower if you know a power one is where you want to be. I mean, I kind of look at the push reel mower as like training wheels. So let's say you're someone you're just getting into lawn care and you've been using a rotary and you're saying, "Oh, I've heard this big craze that the reel mowers are the greatest thing since sliced bread," which they are, and you want to improve the quality of cut on your lawn, but you're not sure you want to drop, for a used one, $700 to $1,000 on a real mower, or even more if you're getting like a greens mower. Then a push reel mower is a good stepping stone to see if it's really for you. As far as the quality of cut, I would not look at the amount of work that it's going to take to mow your lawn with a push reel mower and say, "Oh, this is really going to suck if I go out and I get a powered one." But it's a good way if you just want to kind of step into it and see if it's something you're going to want to do. But no, there's no reason to do a push reel mower if you are already on that reel mower life. Because honestly, between the two, the powered reel mower, any powered reel mower is going to produce a better quality of cut by far than a push reel mower. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. And as far as which one to get, kind of like what I said, I'm not sure how long you've been. Actually, you've been in the live stream from the beginning because I remember seeing you in. Find out in your area who what like where you can get it serviced. So McLane's, California Trimmers, True Cuts are all great brands, but make sure you find someone in your area that can service that type of mower. As far as where to get a good powered reel mower, assuming you're not going the new route. If you're going new, awesome. My True Cut, I bought that one brand new, but if I do it all over again, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably get a pre-owned one because you can save a lot of money doing that. And True Cuts are fairly bulletproof. But anyway, as far as where you can get one, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, and then Craigslist. Any of those three places, you should be able to find a pretty good deal on one. And also, if you can find a local shop that services those mowers, check with them because sometimes they'll have a mower for sale, or they'll be able to tell you where you can get a really high quality pre-owned one. So those are also great options as well. So just something to consider. But yeah, man, go for it. I hope you make the plunge because your grass will thank you for it. It's one of the best things, one of the best decisions I definitely made for my lawn. So yeah, absolutely do that. Because remember, once your soil is in order, so once I've got you guys sold on getting the soil test done and you've done all the stuff to improve your soil, it's healthy, you don't have terrible pH, your nitrogen levels are where they need to be, the most important thing is the mower and using it regularly. So like if you're going to spend a lot of money on anything, spend a lot of money on the mower, like the supplements, the organic stuff, the carbon, they're all great. They all help feed the soil. They're all good contributors, but to have an amazing lawn, you got to cut it. The more often you cut it, the better it's going to look. I've been watching the Masters this week and it never amazes. It never fails to impress me how amazing that grass is on that golf course. Even though they had to wait I think it's 7 months they got delayed for the tournament, and it still looks incredible. So yeah. But anyway, great question, Chris, and hopefully you decide to make the plunge. Kimuli, thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate you watching the content. I enjoy doing this and helping out where I can. So thank you for watching, because for having you guys to watch, it encourages me to keep going and to continue making good content for you guys. So so awesome. Let's see, guys. Thank you guys so much, guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys chiming in and watching the content, coming in the live streams. All right, Mike Wash says, how long should I wait to reapply glyphosate? I have some Sanog in my lawn that just won't die even after I apply Spectracide. I plan to seed Bermuda in the spring. I want to say typically 2 to 3 weeks between applications for glyphosate. Mike, is typically a good recommendation. So when you say you applied it and it won't die, I mean, certainly it kills some of it off, I'm sure, right? But I mean, some of the Sanog is probably going to come back, but then a second application is likely to get rid of it. Here's the thing. I'm not sure if you told me where you are, but the thing with glyphosate or any of those types of herbicides that the plant's going to take up that is absorbed, needs to be absorbed by the plant, they work better if you apply them when the plant is actively growing. So if your Sanog is about to go into dormancy, you're probably not going to get as good a result. So you might want to apply again sooner than later. Again, I have no idea where you are, but let's say you're in Florida, so you still got plenty of heat still left in your growing season. Then if you applied it the beginning of November, wait 2 to 3 weeks, based on how the lawn's looking, and apply it again, and that should get you in a good position. And you're actually doing it the right way, man. It's cool that if you're planning on seeding the Bermuda in the spring, that you're trying to get rid of the Saint Aug, because Saint Aug is so much taller that I think it's gonna look kind of unsightly if you tried to put Bermuda seed down with the Saint Aug still fairly well established. So cool, very very cool. Let me know how the project works out, man. Which, out of curiosity, which Bermuda type are you going with? Are you going to which seed are you going with? You going with Arden 15, or have you decided yet? Or are you just going to use like a blend from Home Depot? Let me know in the comments below what you're going with. So Chris asked the question, speaking of grass seeds, where can you get Arden 15? You can get Arden 15 on Amazon. Let me see here. You can get it from Amazon. You can also get it from Hancock Seed. I think they are in Florida. Let me see here. Yep, they still have it here. So Outside Pride also carries it. Let me get a link for you if you decide you're going to go that route. But yeah, you can get it on Amazon. You can also get it on Hancock. So I've gotten it from both, and actually sometimes Hancock Seed will sell Arden 15 on Amazon. I don't think they have a listing right now, but right here, Arden 15 grass seed, and there you go. And boom, there we go. So yeah, this is where you can pick that up, Chris. The big thing is, I will tell you, is that Arden 15 is like, the grass seed is expensive. So if you're going to seed from scratch, make sure you spend a good amount of time actually preparing. Prepare as much as you can. If you're gonna if you can do what Mike Wash is doing, which is like nuke what you currently have and then put down the Arden 15 seed, that's gonna get you the best result. If you decide to overseed, you're trying to do what I'm doing, just realize that there is going to be some color differences if you are mixing two Bermuda grass types. There's going to be some color differences, particularly when the grass goes dormant. So just something to consider. I'm not sure which way you're going, but just want to put that out there, that if you decide to mix them, there's going to be some color differences while the Arden 15 spreads out and does well. Let's see. Travis Winston chimes in. Yeah, Arden 15 is great. Germination in 10 days. Absolutely. That is the one thing I saw with it in comparison to Princess 77. When I did Princess 77, I think the first time in 2018, like I applied the product and I was like, is it working? Is it working? Is it growing? Is it not growing? I don't really know if it's what's going on here. With the Arden 15, it was very apparent. Like literally within 2 weeks, you could see little baby Bermuda starting to pop up among the Tifway 419. I'm sure the Tifway wasn't happy about that. It probably didn't like the competition. But yeah, it even germinated quickly when it's growing among other Bermuda. So I can't imagine how well it would do if you were seeding it from scratch. So yeah, I second that as well. Okay, so we have a question here from Grace. Grace is chiming in. She says, "Ron, have you mowed other lawns besides Bermuda, Kentucky bluegrass or fescue?" No, I've not. I've mowed like the grass we have on the island that I'm from, which is kind of like a combination of like, it's actually, we have Bermuda there, but we also have like a combination of like weed, kind of pretty much weeds is what it is. I mowed that stuff, but as far as like an established lawn of one grass type, no, Bermuda is the only one that I've cut. I've never cut Kentucky bluegrass or fescue. There are some fescue lawns around here. Typically what you find is like among like some of the churches around here, some of the bigger churches around here, they go with the tall fescue because it looks really cool, and they can afford to put all that water on it that it requires to do well in this climate. But yeah, no, I've not mowed anything else other than Bermuda. But the same things apply. I mean, I don't know that you can really mow bluegrass and or fescue quite as low as Bermuda and have it be happy. I think LG has, I want to say he's got Kentucky bluegrass. I'm not sure if he's still in here. But he's the guy to talk to about mowing KBG or KGB or KGB or fescue. But yeah, no, I've only worked with Bermuda per se. Hope that helps. Let's see what other questions. Mike says, how important is disease resistance when choosing a cultivar, and how is Arden 15 in that respect? That's a good question, Mike. I mean, disease resistance. I mean, here's the thing. I don't know how you would test that, or how a homeowner would test that. I pretty much would have you'd have to just take whatever the manufacturer says at face value as far as like what type of Bermuda is going to do better, better resistance against lawn diseases. Probably your best thing for preventing lawn disease is having healthy soil, keeping a good fungicide down, so keeping lawn fungus out. That's going to do a lot for just keeping disease out of your lawn. So I don't actually know how disease resistant Arden 15 is. I know that I've not had any issues with disease with Pressure 77, Arden 15, or Tifway, but I also do a lot to keep the soil, my lawn, as healthy as possible. So I think while disease resistance is important, it's something you can definitely look at. Probably instead of like focusing on the grass types disease resistance, focus on more so on not on doing things or cultivating an environment where disease won't even come in the first place. Kind of like even if you got a flu shot, like still don't go hang around sick people. You know what I mean? So to kind of like to have habits that make it more difficult for disease to take root in your lawn. But I mean, if given the choice, I would go with a Bermuda type that has better disease resistance, assuming I like the color and everything else, than one that didn't have good disease resistance. But that is more a function of you actually taking care of your turf, more so than relying on the grass itself to do a good job. So hopefully that helps. Let's see here. What other questions do we have? Let's see. So David Grainer has a question. The third, he says, "What's your recommendation on seasonal and annual maintenance on a newly sodded lawn in the Northeast, in New England?" So for a newly sodded lawn, again, the big thing is to get a soil test done, because by knowing what your soil is lacking, that's how we're going to be able to devise a lawn care program, a program to know what to apply to your lawn. As far as things you can do regardless, if you say, hey, I want to do something to my lawn and help improve the soil, and not without having to do a soil test, if you have a site one near you, go buy some CarbonPro G. Like any of the carbon based soil amendment technologies that are going to put some compost, some biochar, and in case of CarbonPro G, like some healthy microbials into the soil, that's going to help a newly sodded lawn perform better. But again, I can't stress enough that before you have to, you probably spent some money on getting this new lawn installed. I mean, new construction or whatever, or however you have to get the new sod in. A soil test is a great investment in knowing what the soil is lacking, and so that whatever we decide to put down, fertilizer, we're using the right kind of fertilizers and with the correct makeup to improve your soil health, and that's going to do a lot for improving your lawn. As far as things to not do on a newly sodded lawn, you didn't say how long your lawn's been sodded, but for the first 6 months, if you can stay away from putting any kind of herbicides down on it, that's probably good. That's a good idea. Not probably, that is a good idea. As far as pre-emergents, I would also stay away from those for at least 6 months so the lawn kind of gets more established. So any of the sides, the herbicides, the pre-emergent things like that, avoid those for the first 6 months. And in the meanwhile, get a soil test done right here. Get a soil test done, and the results of that is going to tell you what we need to do to your lawn. As far as what we do throughout the season. And if you need help with that, once you get your soil test done, drop me an email here at ron@ron-henry.com. That's my email address. Just drop me an email with your soil test results, and I'll be able to tell you, hey, David, this is what I think we should do based on what your deficiencies are. So I hope that helps. If you want something you can do tomorrow, if you got an itch you got to scratch, go out and go to your local site one, get a couple bags of CarbonPro G, throw it down your lawn, and that's something that you can do that's not going to do any damage. It's only going to help your lawn, and you don't need a soil test to do it. So I hope that helps. All right, so Edward Bonet. Hey, Edward, thanks for checking in, man. He says, he's in New Jersey. He says, I just received my soil test. It says I should apply a 15015. Okay, so it means your phosphorus levels are good. Okay, 15015, and the pH was high, and I needed to put down lime. What should I put down? It says your pH was high, and you need to put down lime, because typically lime is normally recommended when your pH is lower. If you don't mind, Edward, shoot me an email, send me an email here. ron@henry.com. If you send it to me like during the live stream, take a picture of it, send it to me during the live stream. When I get done, when I get off of here, I promise I'll go through it and look at it tonight, and I'll get you an answer, because that doesn't sound right. I mean, if you're just borderline, like, I mean, a good soil pH is anywhere between high five, so 5.8 up to 7.2. The low sevens is decent. So if you were maybe just on the edge, say if you're like in the low fives or mid fives, maybe that's what it was talking about. But if your pH was like, high five, 7.5 or higher, it would be odd that you're being told to put down lime. Normally you'd be using some kind of a sulfate or something to lower the alkalinity. Huh. So, but yeah, send me an email if you don't mind, right here with a picture of your soil test results, and I'll get an answer for you. Because I don't want to, something doesn't sound right, and I don't want to give you bad info as far as what you're going to be applying to your lawn. Let's see here. Question from Monique Jones. Monique Jones chiming in. He says, no, I have not answered this already, and I will not ignore you guys. He says, when should we stop mowing the grass? So when it turns brown and it's not growing anymore, then you can stop mowing it. Here's the thing. Whenever my lawn goes completely dormant, I still get the mower out and I make a pass on the lawn once a month. But if your lawn is not completely brown, you can still mow it if you want. Here's the thing. Now with where my lawn is now, I'm literally getting away with mowing once every 4 to 5 days. I don't have to mow it nearly as often as I did during the summer. But if you want to try to do a little bit to keep stimulating growth, mow your lawn. Like if you mow it, you're gonna. I mean, Bermuda's not growing as quickly now, but it's still growing. And if you mow it, you're just gonna simulate a little bit of top growth, which is gonna keep the lawn greener just a little bit longer. Now, once we get that first frost, it's gonna go dormant. But really, as long as the lawn is still green, I would keep mowing it until it goes dormant. You don't have to, especially Bermuda. Like right now, you could probably stop mowing and be fine until spring. But if you want the lawn to still look nice and you're trying to get it to stay green as long as possible, keep mowing it. It's gonna keep stimulating just a little bit of growth. Hopefully that helps answer your question, and I hope that you guys are doing well. Let's see here. LG chimes in. He says elite Kentucky bluegrass can be mowed as low as half an inch. So there you go. You got a guy that has some elite Kentucky bluegrass. Elite Kentucky bluegrass is kind of an oxymoron. Elite really only belongs in front of Bermuda, but whatever. We'll let it slide, LG. We'll let it slide. But there you go, guys. There's your answer to the person earlier who was asking about. I think it was Grace was asking about mowing. So there you go. Kentucky bluegrass, you can mow it down to half an inch from the man who has a Kentucky bluegrass lawn, not just Kentucky bluegrass, an elite Kentucky bluegrass lawn. So there you go. Let's see. Super TA 329 says, some have said that Bermuda can be grown in South Jersey. Your thoughts? It can. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can grow it there during this. It won't. You can, but it's just not. It's not ideal. So what's going to happen is your growing season is going to be really short. So it's only going to be green. In Jersey, I mean, Bermuda really begins to thrive once soil temperatures get to like 65 degrees or above. I mean, it comes out of dormancy before that, but it really takes off and really starts, goes into Hulk mode with soil temps in the 60s or 70s. So depending on how long it takes for you to get that in Jersey, you might be, late May before Bermuda comes out of dormancy. And then when it starts getting cooler, you might be going back into dormancy in August, September. So you may only get like 3 months out of it. So I would use a grass type that is better suited for your area, like kind of like what LG is showing. Like Kentucky bluegrass. Even though I'm giving him a bunch of crap, Kentucky bluegrass actually is a very, very beautiful grass type, and it's to be completely fair, it is got a nicer color. Like as a standard Kentucky bluegrass is a prettier grass than Bermuda is. Like you have to go out and you have to go get like an Arden 15 or some of the more exotic Bermudas to get a green, like bluish green color that approaches the green that you get just naturally with Kentucky bluegrass. So I would, in South Jersey, that is probably the grass type I would move to. It's one that you can, as LG's point out, you can mow it a little bit shorter, and it's just a better fit. Like it's just not, you're not gonna, even if you could get Bermuda to grow there, it's gonna see a lot more stress than it would in the South, because it's just, you guys are just cold a whole lot longer. So even though you can do it, I personally wouldn't go that route, especially if you're trying to do it from seed, because it's stuff's expensive. So Hopefully that helps. I know it's probably not the answer you wanted to hear, Super TA, but again, again, Bermuda grass seed is expensive. I don't want you to go out and spend a lot of money buying it and then not get a good result. So hopefully that helps. Let's see, what other questions do we have here? Okay, Mind Business is chiming in. He says, "Hey, I plan to spot treat with glyphosate when my lawn goes completely dormant. But what can I use to eliminate everything else in the lawn when my Bermuda is actively growing without harming it?" Awesome question. Okay, so there are two products. There's a ton of different selective herbicides you can use that are safe for Bermuda. For someone that is new to this process of applying herbicides to your lawn, I like to recommend granular products because they are harder to mess up with, and because they release slower, they tend to do less damage or discoloration to your lawn. There's a lot of great liquid products that you can use as far as herbicides go, but one, you need a backpack sprayer to use them, and it's a herbicide. So if you apply them, if you mess up with mixing it, you can damage your grass, and if you mess up with applying it, you can damage your grass. So as far as a product that I would recommend for someone that is new to lawn care and you're trying to get your lawn in good shape, I'm going to go with the Spectracide Weed Stop, and that is this guy right here. So this product is a great product. It's a granular. It controls several hundred weeds. It controls a lot of your common ones, and it also contains a pre-emergent in it that's going to prevent new weeds from growing. So let's say you already got a pre-emergent. So you're saying, "Hey, Ron, all I want is a selective herbicide. I don't want a pre-emergent." Then you could go with something like this from Spectracide, which is the orange cover. So the granular is the bag, the orange cover, the orange bottle, which you can find this at your local Home Depot as well too. This is purely a selective herbicide, and it's going to be safe it's very safe on Bermuda. So the big thing, the only thing with the liquid, and this is why I kind of don't like to recommend liquids, is that whenever you're applying it, let's say this is a weed, my hand is a weed, right? When you attach it to your hose end sprayer and you're applying it, do not do this. Don't go like back and forth on that one area, because you've done one application, two applications, three applications. You just basically effectively triple the rate in that area. So if you're going to use that liquid product, you need to be very, very disciplined that you're making just one pass over your lawn, just like you would with a granular. So that's the only caveat I would say if you decide to go with this one. But my personal preference would be for you to get this guy, the granular weed stop. One bag treats about 3,000 square feet. You are going to need a broadcast spreader to put it down, which is, I guess, one con or one negative to this. But if you're getting into lawn care, you're going to end up with about a rotary, a broadcast spreader anyway. So it's going to be just fine. So as far as other things about this to know, to get a good result with this product, you need to apply it when the lawn is wet. So you need to apply it to wet grass, wet turf. In other words, it needs to stick to the leaves of the weeds. And if you apply it when it's dry, you're not going to get a good result. You're still going to get the pre-emergent benefits, but you're not going to get the post-emergent benefits as well. They spell that out actually really, really well on the label, but that's something that a lot of people don't pay attention to. So as far as times to apply it, you can apply it either early in the morning when there's dew on the lawn, or if you have irrigation, you water your lawn, then you can apply it after doing that, and then stay off of it. Keep pets, kids, anything like that off the lawn for 24 hours is what I would recommend. Let it dry on the turf, and then you're good to go the next day to enjoy your lawn. So, but this is the product I would recommend. This is a great product that you can use while you're waiting for your lawn to go completely dormant. And here's the thing: if you between using either the granular or the liquid, you may get the weeds under such good control that you don't have to use the glyphosate, because you could blanket spraying with glyphosate is fine. That's an option, but you really need to make sure that the Bermuda is completely dormant. When I mean completely dormant, I mean when you get down and look and move the grass back and make sure there's no green anywhere, it's all brown. Make sure there's no green, and then if you really if your lawn is that challenged where you think that a broad application of glyphosate is in order, that's when you could do it. But before we go that route, before we go the napalm bomb route, we're just smoking the entire lawn. Let's try one of those products from Spectracide, either the weed stop or the liquid that goes on a hose end sprayer. If you can't get it, if you can't find it at your local Home Depot and you're going to get it on Amazon, you can get it right here. So that is a great option. But again, with this, with temps, another thing to consider too, with temperatures starting to fall, the effectiveness of a lot of these products is also going to be reduced some too, right? Because the way a lot of these products work for the weed to actively take it up and get and take it in, and so it eventually kills the weed, like the weed needs to be actively growing. So a lot of the weeds you're dealing with are probably ones from the summer, some of the more warm season type weeds. So keep that in mind too. You may end up using glyphosate after all, but I mean, while we still have time, let's use one of those products. I just put the links in chat, and let's go with one of those, and so we can knock it back as much as possible. So hopefully that helps. David, you are very, very welcome, sir. Very welcome. Let's see. Question. Moro Marsilio asks, what are the differences between Zoysia and Bermuda? Wow. That's a loaded question. So they're both warm season grasses. They're both very beautiful grasses. Of the two, the big selling point for Zoysia is that it's just gorgeous. It's a really, really pretty grass. I don't know of any other grass type, definitely not in the warm season grasses, that has almost like this emerald, like lime, like almost like a lime green. Like go to the supermarket and get like a lime, like a slightly light colored lime, and that's what Zoysia looks like. So it's really like someone like the Xeon Zoysias. It's just really, really pretty grass type, and the leaf for it is also a little bit finer. So it's very pretty and appealing to look at. So if money is no object, and then Zoysia is probably the nicer of the two from a visual standpoint. If you are looking for a grass type for a lawn you're actually going to use, right? So you're going to actually get out in the lawn, you're going to be playing on it, you're going to throwing football, and just, people are going to be roughing and tumbling on it. It's not just a lawn to look at. Bermuda, in my opinion, wins out in that case, because while Zoysia is a very pretty grass, and some other benefits of Zoysia, it's more shade tolerant. So Zoysia will do better with a little less sunlight than Bermuda. So when I say a little less, I mean like Zoysia still needs 4 to 5 hours, of direct sunlight per day, whereas like Bermuda really needs 6 to 7 hours of direct sunlight. So a couple hours difference. They both need sunlight, but Zoysia is a little bit better in the shade. That's another thing. But the big thing is, if you are planning to use your lawn, meaning if you have kids and they're going to be out in the lawn, they're going to be, always on it. Zoysia is not a great type because it doesn't recover as quickly. Like a good example, like a good friend of mine that has a beautiful Zoysia lawn. Last year, this is all pre-COVID. Last year, we went over to his lawn. He had a party, and we played volleyball on it. So we played volleyball for like 3 or 4 hours on this lawn, and it took the better part of the rest of the season into this year. It wasn't until this year that his lawn actually fully recovered. It fully bounced back from just people being on that lawn playing volleyball and just tearing, just beating it up a little bit. So Zoysia is more, because it grows slower, a little more delicate, and it's a very pretty grass to look at, but it's not one that I would really recommend for someone that's going to use when I say use your lawn a lot. So, and it's a lot more expensive than Bermuda to apply to have it sodded or put in. So those are some considerations. What else can I tell you? Yeah, those are the big things. Both great grass types. Zoysia is more expensive. In my opinion, it looks prettier, but it's also a lot more delicate. Bermuda, I mean, I lit fireworks off, as much as it pained me. I lit fireworks off on my lawn, like had big burn marks in it and everything like that. A week later, you couldn't tell that anything ever happened to the lawn. So Bermuda, just because it grows so much faster, is superior in my opinion. For that reason. Let's see. So Alan also chimed in here, says, Zoysia is better if you have some shade. It can't really be mown super low like Bermuda, but it can survive in more shade. So there you go. Yeah. So whereas Bermuda will not do well in any kind of shade, even a little bit of shade, Bermuda does not like. Zoysia will do better, but it's also a lot more delicate as far as mistakes. Another thing too, that's a good point. If you're applying fertilizers or a herbicide to your lawn, to a Zoysia lawn, and you have an oopsie, like you go a little heavy, you're going to be looking at that ugly spot for a while, because it takes a while for it to bounce back. Whereas Bermuda, depending on how bad you go, you might be all season, but in most cases, just a few weeks and the lawn is going to recover, and you're never going to know anything bad happened to it. So that's another thing to consider too. Any kind of products you apply to a Zoysia lawn, you need to be very, very careful about application rates, because if you damage it, it's going to look ugly for longer. Let's see. So I don't want to butcher your name. Osama Abdu says, are you in the Atlanta area? Yes, I am. I'm in Northeast Georgia. I'm about 60, 70 miles northeast of Atlanta. He says, if so, do you see tall fescue out there? Yes, I do. He says, I'm in the DC area. We have the exact same weather in the summer. It's about 90% fescue lawns here, 10% zoysia. So yes, I do see some tall fescue lawns in the area. Most of them, the ones that I see in most cases, are like commercial properties. So like if you're going to some apartment complexes, they will have fescue. A lot of the churches, some of the bigger churches in this area have fescue lawns, but I don't see it really on residential lawns. Probably because like in this area, it's a little bit warm for fescue, so it probably can. So as far as watering requirements are going to be a little bit higher, so it's probably not something that builders really want to put in on residential properties. But I've seen it in the commercial area. It's bigger. So again, apartment houses and like churches. A lot. I see that. I see on quite a bit of those. You'll see fescue being used. So it can work well if you've got the budget also to water it, because it's gonna need a lot of water in this climate because of the temperatures that we get during the summer. Then yeah, go for it. And if you like to mow taller, like I like Bermuda because it's shorter. Yeah, I can mow it shorter, like that golf course look. But yeah, we do have fescue in your area, just to answer your question. But not typically on residential lawns because of the increased requirements. Let us see. Joanne Lampron, she asks, do you think it's true that grass or plants grow better if they have French music on? Let me see. So Joanne Lampron, it sounds like a French name. So I think you're probably biased. I have heard. Now here's the thing. Um, Alex's wife she has a lot of plants, and she plays music to her plants. She does it. She has like some really, her plants look really nice. They thrive. So there's probably some truth to that. I can't say for sure. They say that plants can feel the energy around them. So like if you are wasn't there some experiment sometime where they took the two plants and one of them they played like classical music and the other one they were playing like death metal, and the one that's played death metal just didn't do as well. Again, I don't know how true this, if that was really an actual study that happened, but it is not an uncommon thing for people that are really into their plants to play music to their plants, and the people that I know that do that have really nice looking plants. So I don't know if, causation means correlation, or correlation means causation, like the two are linked, but it certainly can't hurt. It can't hurt. I mean, my lawn looks really nice. I mean, I don't talk to my lawn. I don't play music for it, but I mow it pretty regularly. I'm always out there, and I mean, when I'm out there mowing it, if it's looking good, I'll give it a little pep talk. I do that, but I don't play music for it. So and my lawn looks pretty good. So maybe for plants they need music, but like grass lawns, like Bermuda grass lawns, all they need is like a good mower and lots of lawn care. So it just depends. But I think we'll just say it cannot hurt. But I'm not going to say for sure that it's going to be the night and day difference. Like the French music is going to be the thing that makes the difference for the line. It's curious you said French music. Why not? What's wrong with like British music or American music? Interesting. All right. Let's see. What other questions we have? We have Super TA chimes in. He says he has elite Blue Bank KBG here in Jersey. I had a small area with Zoysia and was curious about Bermuda. You summed it up. Yes. If you've already got like the elite Kentucky bluegrass, then yeah, you already got a good grass type that can be mowed relatively low. LG is mowing his around 1/2 inch. So if your lawn is level, you got a good top dressing job done where the surface is smooth enough, then yeah, you can get that lawn looking really nice with just what you have. So yeah, I wouldn't go through the headache of pulling it all up and putting Bermuda in if you can help it. Let's see. LG, cool question here. He says, hey Ron, what are your #lawn goals for 2021? We are waiting for you to install a backyard putting green. My lawn goal for 2021, I want to overseed again. I do. Mainly because it drives some people crazy, and I just, it's fun. And I am seeing a lot of benefit. Like with Princess 77, it didn't work out as well. With the Arden 15, I'm seeing a lot of really good progress. So I think one more good overseeding is going to make a big difference. I also want to play with the method I'm going to use this time. Like this time, I'm going to really be really good about probably verticutting my lawn. A question you guys always ask me is about verticutting or scarifying. I'm probably gonna get the lawn verticut to thin it out a little bit before I put the seed down. So those are two things I plan to do next year that are a little bit major: the seeding and verticutting. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna top dress. The back lawn could stand to benefit from a top dress. The front lawn I'm pretty happy with. I'm not gonna mess with that, but the back lawn could stand to benefit with a top dress. So I may just maybe, I haven't decided yet, might do a top dress on the back lawn, but definitely verticut is definitely in the cards. Overseeding is in the cards, and a top dress for just the back lawn might also be a thing too. Outside of that, I just want to cut it and enjoy it, and keep putting the carbon down, and just seeing how good I can get the lawn to do. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, I would I welcome them. A putting green, I don't know that I'm gonna do that, man. A putting green is a ton of work. I mean, whereas I should say this: having a putting green, how I would want it to look, would be a ton of work. I would want to put one in and then not have it look like a putting green all the time. And to have it look like a putting green all the time, it's going to mean mowing it like every day. It's going to mean top dressing it several times throughout the year to make sure it stays nice and flat. And it's like another. Whereas like a lawn with a rotary mower is one level of commitment. It's like, I don't want to get yelled at by my house association, so I'm just going to do that. And then when you go to a real mower, it's like another level of commitment. Like putting it in a putting green and having it look like a putting green is like yet another level of commitment, as far as products you have to apply to it, and mowing frequency, and just other stuff you're always doing to keep the lawn looking nice. So I don't know if I'm really ready for that. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. And here's the thing: I don't know where I'd put it. If I put one in, I don't really know where it would go. I'd have like this one big spot on my lawn that looks really super smooth, and it would not fit in with everything else. I don't know. I have to think about it. Could be, but I don't know if I'm ready. If I'm really ready for that. But I will take it under consideration. LG, great suggestion. Let's see. So Stephen Eckert gives chimes in on this. He says he's in South Jersey near Philly, and he can confirm that Bermuda will grow in South Jersey. I have wild Bermuda creeping into my turf type tall fescue. Always a tongue twister for me. And it took over nearly my whole backyard within a few months. So there you go. I mean, it can grow, and that's the thing. That's your comment is super funny, Stephen, in that you realize we're really trying to grow Bermuda here in the South, and we love it, and this is like our grass of choice. But in many other parts of the country, Bermuda's a weed. Like it's a tenacious weed that's really hard to get rid of. And Stephen's a great point, right? He had a TTTF lawn, and Bermuda came in and was just making a mess of it. So it's kind of interesting how the perspectives are, where it's down here we love our Bermuda lawns and we really want them to do well, and in other parts of the country you're looking for ways to kill it and get rid of it. So perspective is really interesting. Let's see. So Travis says, great info. Thank you, sir. You finally purchased some CarbonPro L. You went with a liquid. Very nice. I've been to Site 1 a lot, and I blame you. Hey, listen, I warned you. I always tell people that. I mean, I'm a big fan of Site 1, but I am not responsible for any kind of spending that happens when you go in there, because it is literally the candy store, man. It's a candy store for lawn care stuff. I'm not responsible for you go in there and you may go in there just to go get one bag of CarbonPro G, and next thing you know, they'll come take you along the shelf and be like, but look at all these other products we have that will make your lawn look amazing. So yeah, but it's fun. And the people there, at least my dealings with them, has always been really helpful. They've always been really nice, and will take the time to explain products and for what you're trying to go for, and answer questions. So that's also really good as well. They're not just looking to sell you something, which is really cool. So, and as far as like the CarbonPro L and CarbonPro G, I believe they're the exclusive distributors for it. Like I think they're the only ones that can sell it. So you're going to be in there anyway. So, but yeah, congrats, man. I'm glad that you finally got some CarbonPro L. You can keep applying that, man, up until you go dormant. That's something you can keep putting down. Absolutely. Let's see. Let's see. Osama Abdu, he asks a follow. Oh, that's a question for Alan. Okay, so Alan will probably chime in on that as far as percentages. Rayon, thank you for chiming in, sir. Thanks for taking some time to hang out. Let's see. Travis says, I'm convinced that Ron works for Site One's marketing department. I do not work for Site One. I'm telling you, I don't even really get much of a discount when I go into Site One. I don't get a discount. I don't like, I pay the same price that you guys pay for stuff. Like it'd be nice. Actually, I should try and work on that. As much people as I send there, I should have you guys go in there. Anytime you guys go to buy something, you need to say, hey, Ron Henry sent me here. And then I'll see if you're going to the one that's in Beaufort anyway, do that. And then I'll be able, when I go down there and talk to them, I'll be, hey, how many of, viewers for my content come in and buy product, and maybe we'll see if they'll do something. Probably not, but you're right. I should get some kind of kickback or be in their marketing department based on how much I talk about the products. But the thing is, it doesn't really matter. I really believe in the stuff they sell. I believe in the CarbonPro G, CarbonPro L, and you can only get it there. And I buy this stuff with my own money, and it doesn't matter. And I'm recommending to you guys, like, again, it's like I could like get on some of the affiliate programs for some of the lawn care products out there that and just push a lot of that stuff to you guys. But in my mind, because I don't use a lot of that stuff, it would be disingenuous, and you guys would see through it, and then it would destroy the trust you guys have in me. You're not going to watch the content anymore. So even when it comes to products that there's not any way for me to even make a dime on it, if I'm using it, I think I'm getting really good results with it, and I think you guys can benefit from it. That's what I'm going to recommend to you. So whether you go to Site One and get their products, or you go with something else, then in other words, what I'm recommending to you is know that it's something that I believe in, regardless of whether you get it through a link that I put out there or not, because it's the same stuff that I use on my lawn. You guys see, I film what I put on my lawn, so you guys can see me put the stuff down. So I'm not just saying, hey, use this stuff and not really believing in it. LG, thank you so much for the super chat, sir. I appreciate the generosity.
Super chat received.
I appreciate it. Let's see. Mike asked a question: is biochar legit? Is humic acid better than biochar? So they are. Is biochar legit? Yes. Is one better than the other? Depends on who you talk to. The one thing that I've been able to determine from the research that I've done is that they both help feed the soil. They help with water retention. They allow your soil to free up. They tend to free up whatever is in your soil. So any fertilizers you have in your soil, you're going to get more out of them by using any kind of a carbon-based product like biochar or humic acid. What I would say is, because they tend to work better the more of it that you have in your soil, pick a product that is reasonably priced, because you're going to be putting a lot of it down. In other words, if you apply humic acid one time or apply biochar one time, are you going to see a visual benefit to your lawn? Maybe, but I don't think so. I mean, in my situation, my personal case, I've seen a lot of benefit to my lawn, but I've been applying a lot of this. I've been applying a ton of this stuff. Again, ever since July, every 3 weeks, CarbonPro G granular has been going down on my lawn. And I can definitely visually see a difference in the evenness of the color, the depth of the color, and the lawn is staying green longer. Largely due, I believe, to those products. So they are legit. It's not like snake oil. There definitely is something to it. Yeah. So and as far as which one is better than another, I really can't say. I don't think you're going to go wrong with either one of them. They probably work slightly differently, but I think if you believe Miramichi Green / Lesco's marketing, the carbon that's in the CarbonPro G is a lot more effective. They say it's got more effective in feeding the soil, improving the soil, than just a humic acid. But I'm positive if you ask the people at Anderson's, who also probably believe very strongly in their product, they will say something different. So the long short is, whichever product you can buy a whole lot of at a reasonable price, that is what I would go with. It is definitely worth investing in, but don't overpay for whatever you decide to go with. So how's that for an answer, a politically correct answer as around carbon? Let's see. Alan says, so we have someone that's here with Alan that has good things to say about Anderson's. He says, Mike Wash, I've had good luck with Anderson's, which has biochar and humic acid. He's also considering the CarbonPro L or G. So there you go. So I mean, the long short of it doesn't really matter. Pick one and apply it regularly, and you're gonna get good results. But it is worth doing. It's not snake oil. It is something that definitely will help feed your soil. It's gonna help improve soil health, which in turn is going to, as a byproduct, you're going to get greener grass, healthier grass. Healthier soil equals healthy grass. And humic acids, biochar, compost, the things that are in these products will help with that. So I definitely believe in that. Let's see. Rayon Moore says, do you think if I cut a ½ inch off the lawn while it's in dormancy, will it do any harm? I want to keep my Bermuda lawn at 1 inch. I currently use a manual reel mower to cut my lawn. If it's in dormancy, I wouldn't go down on the height of cut. Here's the thing. I mean, the grass, the lawn that's on the grass that's there when it goes into dormancy, for the most part, is the grass that's going to be there when you come out in the spring. And the grass on the lawn acts as a kind of an insulator to the Bermuda. It helps protect the roots. It protects the lawn in general. So there's in other words, there's not really any benefit to doing it. it can only do harm if you scalp the lawn when it's in dormancy and it's not about to come out of it. So what I would do is, if your lawn's not dormant yet, Rayon, if you want to move the height of cut down a little bit now, you can do so while it's still growing. But once it goes dormant, I really wouldn't make any major height of cut changes. And then when spring rolls around, you feel free. You can absolutely scalp it down to 1/2 inch. And that's going to really help with stimulating new growth in the springtime when the Bermuda is about to come out of dormancy. But you're not going to really see any benefit for doing it now, if that helps. So I mean, it can only result produce a negative result. And there's not really any positive to doing it in the middle of a dormant period. Hopefully that helps answer your question. But yeah, mowing it at 1 inch is a great goal. It's going to look really good. It's going to stripe beautifully at 1 inch next year whenever you decide to do that. But let's just wait till the springtime to lower that height of cut down on your Bermuda. I wouldn't do it right now. Let's see. Let's see what other questions we have here. LG, no, Ron does not talk to his lawn. Talking to his whole pack will organize a different story. Hey man, I had to talk to Milo is what got me. It was it started me out, so I got to show the Milo some love. I can't go out there and just put the Milo out to pasture and not give it a proper send off. I'm still debating what I'm going to use for my winterizer, whether I'm going to use Milorganite. I got a bag of fertilizer from a company local here called Central Turf and Irrigation. They make a fertilizer called Jackpot. I don't remember the actual the makeup of it off the top of my head, but it's a blend of a synthetic and organic fertilizer that they wanted me to try out. So I might use that this fall or this winter for my my winterizer, my put the lawn to bed fertilizer. I don't know if the makeup is exactly what my lawn needs, but I'd like to try it out and just see, because it's part synthetic, part organic, and we'll see how the lawn comes out of dormancy in the spring using that product. So I'll definitely make sure I make a video of it to show you guys that. And I'll talk about in that video. I'll have the links of where I got it, and it's really just it's only gonna matter to you if you're local to the area, but I guess, like you guys know, when it comes to my lawn, I'm full disclosure. I show you guys what I do to it. So if I'm using something different, I'll definitely make that available to you guys to look at in the form of a video. So yeah, you guys are giving me grief about talking to my lawn. I don't. Listen, even if I talk to my lawn, if I have conversations with it, I am not gonna admit that on the live stream because the internet's forever. You guys will never stop giving me grief about it. Cedric, thanks so much for checking in, man. I appreciate you coming in and smashing the like button. And if you guys are here with Cedric, if you came in, if you guys aren't new, you joined the live stream midstream. If you guys didn't hit that like button on the way in, please do so now. It helps the live stream, helps the algorithm, and it definitely is an easy and free way of supporting the channel. So if you guys do that, I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. The comment section is out of control tonight. LG and Alan, you guys are having, and more, you guys are having too much fun. Let's see. Alan's saying, I think I work in their InfoSec department. Okay, so we have a good question here from Grace. Oh, a question that is near and dear to my heart. Grace asks, Ron, what are the advantages of top dressing your lawn? Oh, awesome question. Love this question. The advantages of top dressing your lawn. There are several. The first one visually is that you, if you want that really low cut look, so you want that manicured look to your lawn, so you're trying to cut your lawn. Let's say once you start cutting at heights of 1 inch or lower, top dressing really becomes something you should really consider. So if you want your lawn to look like a golf course, top dressing is going to fill in a lot of those low areas in the lawn. It's going to make it nice and flat. It's also going to be a good way to introduce, organic material or in the case of river sand, a medium that's going to help improve water retention. So if you are going to top dress your lawn using like what I would consider my new approach going forward, what you would do is you would use some CarbonPro G, which is like like your organic component to help feed the lawn, and you would use river sand. And that river sand is going to do a couple things. One, it's going to level the lawn. It's going to do a really good job of leveling the lawn, making it nice and smooth. And because it's a sand, it's going to hold on to water. So whenever you water your lawn, you're not gonna have to do it as often. And when it rains, it's just gonna stay moist a lot longer. Like my lawn, I was out there mowing today. Granted, we got rain. Today's Friday. We got rain Wednesday, and it was still soft. Like I went and was walking on my lawn. I was cutting it, and it's still. I won't say it's not squishy or anything, but just the lawn in general just holds on to water so much better whenever you top dress it. So tons of benefits. It can be kind of an expensive process because to do it properly, like if you were just asking like how to do it, it is a, I know you didn't actually ask that, but as far as a segue into which is probably the next question you'd ask, is the way to do it properly is you're going to want to aerate the lawn. So you're going to get one of those like hollow tine aerators, aerate the entire lawn, put down a starter fertilizer, put down if you're really going hardcore, put down an application of CarbonPro G, so some kind of carbon organic material into the lawn. So like whether it be that Anderson's Humichar or the CarbonPro G from Site One, put something like that down, so you're starting to feed the lawn. And then finally on top of that, you're going to use that thin layer of river sand to fill in those low spots throughout the lawn to get that nice smooth look. And that's going to allow you to mow your lawn much lower without scalping it, and it's just gonna, it looks awesome. It just creates an amazing appearance that in many ways is an investment too, right? Because it's one of those things that you'll do once. If you only top dress your lawn one time, you're gonna love the way it looks. And also from a standpoint of like resale value, right? Like if you think about it, if you're looking to buy someone's house in a neighborhood and you see that their lawn looks really, really nice, like you see a lawn that's manicured, taken very well care of, it's not necessarily always true, but you're going to make the connection that if this person takes really good care of their lawn, the house has probably been cared for fairly well too. So from a standpoint of you looking to sell your home at some point, I'm not saying you're necessarily going to get, I don't know that you necessarily be able to charge more for it, but as far as like getting more eyeballs or improving that curb appeal, top dressing your lawn and getting it nice and smooth is something that does a lot for that. And if you're willing to do a lot of the work yourself, you can save a lot of money. So those are some of the benefits that I can think of. I don't think I really missed anything. I am a huge fan of it. I top dressed my lawn twice this year. Well, 1.5 times this year. I did the front lawn twice, and then the back lawn once, some spot top dressing. And then if you want to see what's involved in doing it, there is a video. If you go to Ron Henry, if you type, go to YouTube, you type in Ron Henry top dressing, one of the videos that's going to come up there is going to be the Fix My Ugly Lawn video from Alex's lawn. I think it's episode 9, where we show the entire process from soup to nuts. The entire thing is like an 18-minute video showing everything we did, like sped up, so you can see what you'd be signing up for if you decide to do it. But I am a huge fan of top dressing. It's one of the best things you can do for your lawn. So I've rambled on enough about this. Hopefully that helps answer your question, that it is something that I am a huge believer in. Rayon, thank you so much.
Super chat received.
For the super chat, sir. I really appreciate the generosity and the support for the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's see. Princess Cut Lawn Care. George says, have you ever tried mixing your product with adjuvants? I've seen Pete at GCI talk about it, but I've never tried it. I've never tried that, George. That's a good idea. I've never. Pete at GCI is the man. I mean, Pete does it professionally, so I mean, I'm sure he's got a lot of background, a lot of resources to pull from to know what works and what doesn't work. So it's probably something worth considering. I have not tried it myself personally, but maybe something else to do this year. Maybe something to do next season to when it comes to applying products, something else to add to the backpack spray when I'm putting it down. Yeah, why not? Something else new to try. While they help, I'd have to go look at Pete's video and see what he's saying about it, because those kinds of products can easily fall into similar like the question that I had last week around adding citric acid to your backpack sprayer. I think it was a question LG asked, where by putting citric acid into I think it is citric acid, yeah, to adjust the soil, the water pH, to lower the alkalinity of the water to get it closer to where you want to where the water that you're putting in the backpack sprayer matches what you want for the soil pH. Can it make a difference? Yes. Can it make a material difference? I don't. From the research I did, I don't think so. I don't know if adding adjuvants kind of falls on the same thing, that yes, it makes a difference. Technically, it does help, but if it makes a material difference, that's not something that I can really speak to. So I need to do some more research on that. Maybe a good topic for next week's discussion, or maybe if I can do some research tonight, we can talk about that tomorrow on your live stream. But no, I've not tried it. Great question though, George. I appreciate the question. Travis dropping in with the super chat, sir.
Super chat received.
I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Let's see. Super TA, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad that you tune in. And yeah, and again, I'm like I said, I'm gonna tell you guys as it is. If I mess something up my lawn, I will tell you guys that. And if something works, I'll tell you that too. So I mean, if you guys want to see me mess up my lawn from a couple seasons ago, if you guys remember, like when I was doing Alex's we were filming Alex's series, anytime I was putting down a granular on his lawn, I always said over and over, even though you see me doing this, filling up the broadcast spreader on the grass, never ever do this. Always do it on concrete. And the reason why, because there's a video of me burning my lawn because I put some Proscape in there and the hopper, I think that the hopper on, I think it was a Scott's at the times that I had, it wasn't closing all the way. And it burned it created a nasty spot in my lawn. So if you guys are looking at that, just go to Ron Henry, my YouTube channel, and just do like Ron Henry and search for fertilizer burn, and you'll see it. It was a nasty, it's like a spot like this big where I absolutely smoked my lawn. So, and I showed it to you guys. I didn't have to show it. I could have like not filmed that part or not send anything to you. But I mean, I can show you. I can tell you when I tell you not to do something, it's because I've probably done it and I've got the burn marks to prove it. So. That's why. Plus, it makes it fun, right? It's boring to watch a lawn that's always perfect all the time. You want to see people mess things up, right? And I'm good at doing that. So there you go. I am a great resource for my own content. Let's see. A TA says I was at a local landscape place and they brought up volcanic ash. Have you ever tried or heard of it? I've not heard of it, but I'd imagine volcanic ash is probably very, very rich. I'd imagine it's probably rich in organic material, I would think. That's probably what they were going with that. I've not tried it, but I can't imagine that it would hurt. I can't imagine that it would not be a good thing for your lawn. But let me do some research. That's a good question. Let me take that one down under the things to research for next week. Volcanic ash and adjuvants. Those are two good questions. Things that I can talk about in the next week's live stream. But just off the top of my head, I'm Super TA. It's probably just a great way to introduce organic material to your lawn, to your soil. So yeah. Let's see, what other questions do we have here? Russell M chimes in. He says, mid-November, my yard has never looked better after I started following you. Thanks so much. You are very, very welcome, sir. Thank you so much for watching the content. I really appreciate it. You ordered the Allett. Nice. Good choice. After watching Sunny Bermuda, he made a really good video on it. His unboxing video, you could tell, man, the amount of excitement in his voice when he was unboxing the Allett, you could tell he was like, he was really excited about getting that mower. So it's one of the better unboxing videos I've seen for a mower. So good. I'm glad. I'm sure he appreciates the fact that you watched that. And yeah, you're part of the club, man. You got a real mower, and you're doing all the things. You bought the most important part. Like I was telling Monique Jones, because I know them personally. We were talking about when it comes to getting a really good looking lawn, is once you get the soil in order, which is the part that can take honestly the longest. Like once you get your soil test done and you get the soil in good shape, it really comes down to spend the money on the mower. Like buy a good mower. Buy a really good mower and use it often. Like that's going to make the biggest difference in the appearance of your lawn. So congrats, Russell. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thanks for watching the content. And congrats on going with the Allett. That is an excellent choice. Hey Bear, howdy, man. Thanks for chiming in. Let's see. What's the question? He says, what's that running grass in the lawn? How to get rid of it? I'm not sure, Bear. Give me a little more context about what you're talking about. Is it in my lawn or someone else's lawn? Let me know, and I'll try and answer before the live stream's over. Okay, see the Lawn Whisperer. If you guys aren't following another good lawn care channel, check out the Lawn Whisperer. He says it's okay to talk to your lawn, no shame. So there you go. So I'm not the only one that does it. If Joanne Lampron can, play French music to her plants, and Alex's wife can play music to her plants, I can talk to my lawn, and it's not as bad. If you guys see me moving speakers out there and I'm playing music to it, that's probably a bit too much. But while I'm mowing it, if I want to, whisper some sweet nothings to it, hey, no harm, no foul, right? Just as long as I don't answer myself in the conversations, that's when it gets crazy, right? All right. Thank you for smashing the like button, Rayan. Let's see. What other questions do we have here? Daniel Ferreras, he says, is it best to treat active weeds after my Bermuda goes 100% dormant? Should I pull each manually or treat with direct spray product? So Here's the thing. I when they're actively growing is probably better, Danielle, because a lot of the herbicides um, assume the plant is growing for it to take it up, for it to take up the herbicide. So actively growing, I like that better. And the thing to consider too is some of the weeds are kind of like how Bermuda is a warm season grass. Some weeds are also warm season, meaning they thrive when the weather is hotter. So kind of like when Bermuda kind of goes away when it gets cool. Like spurge also tends to go away when it gets cool. A lot of your other weeds are going to go away when the temperatures fall too. So as a standpoint of getting rid of them, if you're going to use the herbicide route, like doing that when the plant is still actively growing is going to give you more options for getting rid of the weeds in your lawn. I'm a big fan of pulling weeds. Like I like a lot of my lawn when we just first moved in here and there was like crabgrass everywhere. I was out there with a bucket and I was manually weeding and pulling it manually. So I am a huge fan of manual weeding. I think a lot of people will just say spray, but I think it can work really well for some weeds, like spurge. You can manually pull spurge, but you got to be really careful with how you do it. And it's kind of a pain. You got to be careful not to touch your eyes or face. And if you have sensitive skin, you need to be careful about that too. But yeah, pulling weeds is definitely a strategy that can work. It's kind of rewarding too, once you kind of get into doing it. But to answer your question directly, it is best to spray it's best to kill the weeds when they're actively growing, because it's going to give you more options for herbicides that you can use to kill the weeds. Hey, SMK chiming in. Hey, sir, thanks for stepping in. I know you're busy guy, so I thank you for chiming in and coming into the live stream. Very, very, very cool. All right, let's see here. Jeremy White says, when's that review on the Typhoon backpack sprayer coming? I just purchased one myself. You know what? That's a good point, Jeremy. I need to do CarbonPro L here soon. So what I will do is I will do a review of, actually, here's the thing. You guys tend to not like the videos, or anyway, from like a watch time perspective, you guys tend to not like it when I actually do videos where you're actually spraying products on the lawn. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do the review without making it boring to where you guys don't want to watch it. But yeah, you make a good point. I do have that sprayer. It is some content that I can make, and I will do a good video of putting that of reviewing that sprayer. It's an awesome sprayer. If you can swing it, it's the one to get. The Chapin, I should say this, it's the one to get if you absolutely want to have the best sprayer, or the best sprayer that reasonable amounts of money can buy. Then the Typhoon is really good. That said, is it like $100 better than the Chapin? I can't necessarily say that's the case. The Chapin is a great sprayer, and it's about $100 cheaper than the Typhoon. But the Typhoon is a baller sprayer. I really like it. It's a good point. I'll take that under notes. So Typhoon review. I need to do that. Something else I can get done now while we're kind of still going into dormancy here. So thanks for that. Thanks for the idea. I appreciate it. Sadie Mac, good to see you, man. Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out here for a little while. SMK says, what up, Ron? I am finally losing the color, still dominating, but the leaf cleanup is kicking my butt. See, you guys, that's one reason why I try not to have any trees on my lawn. I got like 2 trees on the property, and they're both along the front, like on the like Vanity Strip 2.0. And those are the only leaves I have to deal with. But yeah, I get it, man. Leaf cleanup is a huge, colossal pain. So I do not envy all the work you're probably putting in to try and get that stuff off your lawn. But thanks to you so much for chiming in. Looking forward to connecting with you next week. Hopefully we can get together on the live stream like we're planning for, because I think it'd be fun, kind of mix things up a little bit for the viewers. So hope that all is going well in your world. Let's see. Rayon Moore says, hey, Ron, I noticed you never collect grass clippings when you mow your lawn. Are there any advantages to doing so? Yeah. So I won't say I never do it. Whenever I scalp the lawn, I will collect the grass clippings. And if, let's say, I would go out of town on vacation or something for like a week and the lawn kind of grows up crazy, the next mow after that, I will collect the clippings, because what's going to come off is just going to be a little bit too long. The reason why I don't do that is because it's free organic material. Like if you're mowing your lawn regularly, like I mowed today, and like literally stuff coming off was like little dust coming off the top of the lawn, like not hardly anything was coming off except for a few areas. That small amount of leaf that comes off is organic material. It's going to break down really quickly and it's going to feed the lawn. Like if you are bagging your clippings for Bermuda, your nitrogen requirements, your monthly nitrogen requirements actually go up. Like Bermuda requires anywhere between a pound to a pound and a half of nitrogen per month. If you're bagging your clippings, you're really more closer to that 1.5 pounds per month for the Bermuda, for per thousand square feet, I should say. But if you're not bagging your clippings, it takes less nitrogen because you're basically it's an organic material. And think about it, you're putting that leaf that you're clipping off contains a little bit of iron, it contains some nitrogen, it contains any of the stuff that you're putting into the soil. Like some of that stuff is getting into the plant. So when you cut that off, it's basically recycling. You're feeding the lawn with what you're cutting it with. So the only way that really works though is if you're cutting regularly. So if you're if you're the person that only mows your lawn once every 2 weeks, then bagging is probably a better option because what's going to come off is going to be so much that it's going to be two things. One, it's not going to break down very quickly, and that's where you start getting the problems with thatch building up over time. And then two, it's going to be unsightly. It's just not going to look very good. So with my lawn, because I'm cutting off just a little bit of leaf is coming off every time, you barely see it on the lawn as far as discoloration. Like if I'm in the height of summer, what I'll do next time, and now's not a good time to do the experiment, but I'll actually do that. It'll be cool content for you guys to actually see the difference. Next year during the summer when the lawn is growing actively, I will do a mow where I just do like I normally am, where I don't bag the clippings, and I'll shoot a video afterwards and let you guys see how the lawn looks the day after when those little clippings will be turning light brown. And then I will the next mow after that, I'll do a mow where I bag the clippings, and then I'll shoot a video afterwards, like the day after, showing how the color of the lawn is. And there is a difference. To be completely honest, the lawn does stay greener. The sheen of the lawn looks nicer if you do bag the clippings, because even though a little bit of leaf is coming off, it still is a tiny little bit of a brown that's all sprinkled all throughout the lawn. But it goes away so quickly that it's just not, it's for me, I don't see the benefits of doing it. Plus, from a standpoint of the clippings, I have like 12,000 square feet. If I bag clippings every single time, that's a lot of clippings I got to get rid of, and I'm basically throwing out money. I'm throwing out fertilizer, I'm throwing out carbon, I'm throwing out all the stuff that I'm putting in the lawn, trying to get it to look healthy. So that's the reason for why I don't do it, and I don't recommend that you do it. If you're mowing your lawn regularly, I'd recommend that you don't bag your clippings. There's just no reason to do it. It's like there's a lot of reasons to not do it. So hope that helps. Let's see. Kevin, do you ever get weird looks from your neighbors working in the lawn? I did at first. Tell you what, when I was mowing the lawn with the manual reel mower, people used to think, I'm sure people thought I was crazy because it's like, imagine cutting this a huge lawn with a 20-inch wide manual Scott's reel mower. That looked, when I think about it now, it even sounds crazy saying it. So I'm sure people thought I was crazy then, but I've been at this for so long that I'm just like the crazy lawn care guy. It's what's funny is I'm always the first person in the springtime to start mowing. So it never fails. Like if I next spring, whenever I start mowing, that's when you're going to start hearing the other lawns that are near me. They're going to crank up their mowers and go out and mow. They're going to be like, oh, Ron's mowing, so it must be time to start getting the lawn in order. So it's at first I did get crazy looks, but people are used to it now, so it's not that big a deal. People just kind of expect that, hey, it's going to be a thing that this guy's going to do, and yeah, it's better than not mowing the grass, right? So yeah, it's they kind of are used to it by now, Kevin. But yeah, it was a thing at first, but no big deal. Let's see, what other questions do we have here? I'm thinking you guys are about talking me out, man. We're almost out of questions. Let's see here. So Small Southern Lawn Care says, I have some heavy traffic area, 4 dogs constantly running in that area. Do you have some suggestions to keep that thriving as much as possible? Height of cut, humic acid, or humic, etc. It's part of a 1,000 square foot backyard. Okay, so the one thing you left out, Small Southern Lawn, is the kind of grass you're dealing with. So regardless of, and you need to see what kind of grass you have. If it's Bermuda, if you have a Bermuda lawn, cutting it more frequently is going to help with recovery. Because with Bermuda right now, not so much because we're about to go into dormancy, but in the spring and summer months, cutting Bermuda regularly, especially at lower heights, is going to promote a lot of lateral growth, which is going to make the lawn thicker. It's going to make it denser. It's going to make it more resilient against traffic. So as far as heights of cut go, if you assuming you're using a real mower, like Bermuda likes to be cut below 1.5 inches. So anything below like an inch and a half, that's like the sweet spot. That's where it loves that. So you can cut it taller, but it's going to start looking like I always say it starts to look like dirty carpet. Like if you cut Bermuda higher, it still looks okay, but it starts to look like kind of like splotchy and clumpy, doesn't look as good. So if you can get that height of cut lower, like below 1.5 inches, and cut it regularly, that's going to do a lot to keep the lawn actively growing, vigorously growing, which is going to help it deal with the dogs running on it and that kind of thing. As far as outside of regular mowing, the next thing we can work on is just making sure your soil is as healthy as possible. So if you've not got a soil test as yet, consider doing that. You can pick one up here. It's a soil test. The soil test kit that I like is this one from My Soil. Super easy to use. Get the results super quickly. Typically within a week, you'll get results back. So let's give ourselves every possible opportunity to improve, give the grass the best chance to grow as vigorously as possible. So the two things that'll do that are, one, making sure we got good dirt, good soil for the grass to grow in. And then second is to mow it regularly, because if you are mowing the lawn regularly, you're giving the grass a reason to grow. You're giving it a reason to continue growing because it's trying to catch sunlight. And if you keep cutting it off, you're going to start promoting that lateral growth, which is going to make it thicker, denser, and is going to help it do better when it comes to higher traffic. So hope that helps. Let's see. What other questions do we have here? Oh, SMK chiming in. I always can count on SMK to give the great answers. This is to Daniel's question about using herbicides, whether you should do it when the lawn goes 100% dormant, or if you should do it while the lawn is still growing. So SMK chimes in. He says, dormancy spraying is best done with products designed to work in cold temperatures. So Speed Zone works, according to me, he says Speed Zone works very well with a very low rate of that's a hard word to say. I'm gonna try it. Triclopyr. Hopefully I got it right. Triclopyr. Do not get tempted to use glyphosate. So there you go. So the man that actually does research in this area is saying that Speed Zone is the thing to use. Don't use glyphosate. So there you go. I would trust what SMK says. I'm actually going to see about getting SMK on the live stream here. Hopefully next week we're going to try and make that happen, because that way we can have. So what could happen in preparation for that for you guys is get a lot of your questions together around herbicides. If you've got like cool season grass, warm season grass, anything about herbicides and products and their effectiveness. That's what I think the goal of our live stream is going to be whenever I can get him on to talk about it. So get all those questions kind of lined up. Should be a great time. Thank you for chiming in, SMK. Always can count on you to offer that guidance. All right. Let's see what other questions we have. Let's see. Jeremy White says, perfect segue to soil test giveaway. Let's go. All right. Actually, no, we can't do it. We can do a giveaway tonight. Let's see here. So, will using a PGR on my Kentucky bluegrass lawn make it look visually different? I know it slows down growth, but I heard it can thicken up turf and give a better color. Yes. So PGR, it will make it, how can I say this? The PGR tends to make your lawn look darker in color, which is for Bermuda, tends to produce a darker color. And it's not because the PGR is actually making the grass turn darker. It's because if you think about it, right? If you look at the leaves on a tree, the older leaves are darker, right? So older plants tend to be darker in color than new plant growth. So because with PGR, you are suppressing gibberellic acid synthesis, so you're suppressing the ability for the grass to grow tall, to grow up. It begins to grow out laterally. So what you end up with when you cut it is you are cutting off some. There's still going to be some top growth, but what you're cutting off is less and less of the leaf. So what remains, a lot of that grass that still stays on the lawn doesn't get cut off, tends to get darker in color. So with Bermuda, that's definitely the case. I imagine with Kentucky bluegrass is probably the same thing. That what the visual difference you'll get, that darker color, is from the fact that you're dealing with the grass just doesn't grow as tall, so it tends to get greener. Because it's older leaf, more mature leaf, if that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, PGR has a ton of benefits, man. You will not regret incorporating it into your lawn care program, and it's something you're gonna see a lot of benefits from, especially as you get to lower heights of cut. There are some people that have really, really cool lawns at lower heights of cut, and they don't use PGR. But they're out mowing every day. And I think that even though the lawn can look really good at lower heights of cut without PGR, it will look even better if you do use a growth regulator on it. So something to consider. Lake House Lawn Care, thanks for chiming in, man. Thanks for stepping in. And let's see. David Polanco says, "Good tip for you. I wasn't promoted on the live stream. I know it's almost every Friday. What do you mean you weren't promoted about the? Oh, you know what? So yeah, the live stream tonight. You guys will look. There's probably a little bit less viewers on the live stream tonight because I messed up. So when I put it up, when I posted it, you think as a technical, as a like a technology guy, get this right? When I posted the link on yesterday, I put it up as unlisted. So YouTube wasn't like pushing it out to people until I saw it right before I was about to go live, like 20 minutes before I went to go live. I said, why is this unlisted? So I changed it to public, and at that point they started promoting it. So really, it's really mainly you guys, the hardcore guys, the OG guys that came in. That's why you guys are seeing it. So that's why it may not have shown up in your home feed, unfortunately. So that was my bad. I'll make sure I don't do that again. So yeah, thank you. Thanks for pointing that out. I appreciate it, David, and I hope that all is going well for you. And I hope that you guys are enjoying the live stream, guys. I hope that you guys are getting some value out of this. All right, guys. So it is time. It is time. It's about that time. You guys have been asking also to shorten the live stream a little bit. So we're all out of questions. It's 9 p.m. I've yapped on for a little bit. So it is giveaway time. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to the question we have to ask tonight is an easy one. It's a softball one. It's one I've asked in the past. People that are here, that are always on, that are always watching the content will know the answer to this. But I'm going to expect you guys to be able to answer this question. So I'm going to get my stopwatch up here, get it all armed up and get ready to go. Let's go. Stopwatch, iPhone, don't fail me now. All right. Okay. So the question for tonight's live stream is, actually, I should tell you guys what we're giving away, right? So what I'm giving away, guys, and this is actually, it's kind of hard to do this. What I'm about to give away tonight is a 1 of 1. This is a, when I was doing hats for the Teespring, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for hats. I got a couple of different hats, and this guy's literally 1 of 1. This is a like this wicking material. If you look at it, it's kind of thinner. It's not like my Ron Henry hat. Like this one's like the trucker hat. This is like this wicking material. So as far as like something you can wear when you're mowing the lawn and feel really comfortable wearing it, that is what this hat is. And literally, this is the only one of these in existence because it's the only one that I got. I got it, and I was like, let me just go with the trucker ones because those were easier to source. So this is literally 1 of 1. So we'll be giving this away tonight in the live stream. The question you must answer in order to be entered into the drawing for. Look at you guys. You're already throwing it out there. I haven't even asked the question yet. I haven't asked the question. You guys are giving out answers. The question for tonight is, when it comes to a granular herbicide that can also act as a pre-emergent, and it's one that's near and dear to my heart, what is the one that I often recommend, both on the YouTube channel and also here in the live stream? So your 30 seconds. Yeah, actually, on THT 329, I do. Actually, there's a store. Let me get you right here. The store where you can pick up stickers is right here. I just put it up. So your question about where to purchase stickers, right here, youtube.com, Ron Henry store. Like all the merch is available there. Okay, so here we go. 30 seconds starts now. And you got 30 seconds counting. And then whoever answers the question in 30 seconds, you're going to be entered. This is like I got to start coming with some hardball ones, but I want to reward the guys that are like always here. And I should probably at some point put together a script or app to do this, because it's like, as the stream gets bigger and bigger, this is going to become less and less efficient. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. You have 6 seconds to chime in. 5, 3, 2, 1, and done. Okay, so the last person was Alan Fogelson at Lawn Care. Okay, so let me enter all you guys in. So here's the thing. Let me go ahead and start doing this. And from the top, we have Moro, we have Princess Cut, we have Daniel, LG. Although LG it's I mean, you and I both know what's about to happen, right? But we're gonna try anyway. David, Russell chimed in, JG, Josh, and let's see, I have Michael, And guys, this is 101. One of one. Like, it's the only one in existence. Let's see. Who did I make sure I got? Rayon. Make sure I don't mess this up. I don't want to mess this up. Rayon. Travis. The Jeremy White. White. And I think I've already got you in here, Russell. Yep. Jeremy White's in here. And then Super TA. All right. Super TA, and then Cedric. And then Southern Lawn was in there. I'm gonna start using a web form because actually this is wasting some of you guys' time. This is taking up too much time, me actually putting all this together. But I mean, hey, it's free stuff and it's a cool hat. It's the only one I got. It kind of pains me. I'm actually kind of regretting already doing this, but oh well. It gives you guys, I don't need any more hats. You guys will, I'm sure will enjoy it. All right. Small Southern Lawn. Okay. So to make sure I've got everyone, let's go here. I think I've got everyone now. All right. I think I've got everyone. So we ended with SETI. Yeah, we got, this is going to be a lot of people for this. We've got SETI Mac and Grace. All right. And no, hydrochloric acid is not the right thing. Okay, so to make sure I've got your name in here, we've got Moro, Princess, Daniel, LG, David, Russell, JG, Josh, Michael, Rayon, Travis, Jeremy, Super TA, Cedric, SMK, Small Southern Lawn, Jose, Allen, SETI Mac, and Grace. That's 20 people. I think that's right. I don't think I left anybody out. Let me make sure. I don't want to make sure I leave anyone out here. Do I have Lake House? I didn't have Lake House in there. So it's 21 Lake House. Okay. Actually, your odds are still better than on most live streams. And you guys, because you guys are like new to the live stream, imagine when it gets really, really big, right? Like it's gonna be practically impossible to win anything. So you want to keep coming. All right. So we have 21 people. Let me do this. Make sure I do this nice and scientifically. Where is the random number generator? This is over here. So there's no funny business. Okay. So, all right. We have the random number generator up. Let me get rid of that. We don't need that. I will leave this up here. So guys, again, if you're looking for merch, feel free to go to right over this on the screen. Actually, let me get this off here too. That's it. That's kind of in the way. All right. So we said there's 21 people. I'm going to add you right now. So we're at 21. Now I'm going to hit the generate button, guys. Now listen, I don't want any hard feelings. I don't want anybody being mad or anything like that because, you know, this is going to go to a new home. And if you guys get this, you have to send you have to send me a picture. Some people don't want to send their pictures. That's fine. But anyway, hopefully you wear it. Don't just get it and get rid of it, or just put it on a shelf. All right, so here we go. 21, and I am rolling now. And the random number, the winner is number 13. All right, so you guys heard me go through the list. So we are at LG's getting mad. Okay, so back to our list here. Actually, can I bring that up? Can I do that without making a mess of this? Let me see if I can actually do that. So I'll actually show you guys what's here. I can actually do it. All right, so you guys can actually see for yourself. It'll be kind of cool. Let's see. TextMate, is it going to show up? Yes. All right, cool. All right, so we said number 13, all right? So you guys can see no funny business. I'm going from the top here. So Moro, Princess, Daniel, LG, David, Russell, JG, Josh, Michael, Rayon. Did I mess up? I gotta start over. Travis, Jeremy White, and Super T. I think it's Super TA, but let me start over again. So Moro, Princess, Daniel, LG, David, Russell, JG, Josh, Michael, Rayon, Travis, Jeremy White. I think the winner is Super TA. Am I wrong? I think it's Super TA, guys. Yeah, I think it's Super TA. Super TA, you are the winner of the 1 of 1. I think I did this right. So cool. You guys see I did it along with you guys of this hat. So the numbers are on the screen. Oh. So look at that. It's the 13th, Friday the 13th, and Super TA is the winner of this. So Super TA, here's the thing. In order to claim your prize, you must email me your address. My email address is right here, ron@ron-henry.com. If you send me an email there with your mailing address, I will get this out to you. I'll put the packages up and get out in the mail. For those of you that still want Ron Henry merch and are having trouble winning on the live stream because, randomness, it's a thing, feel free to check out the YouTube store. I have a store with also where you can put your very own Stripe Action shirt, the trucker hats, the stickers, anything like that. I've got hoodies. So if you want to represent in style, feel free to check out youtube.com/Ron Henry/store. The merch is there. Well, guys, Static Alpha, sorry you're late, man. I can imagine LG. I'm sure he's having a great time. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm not sure what we're gonna do next week. I'm still trying to work out. I'm doing the Brant Supreme Green as a giveaway. That's kind of a hard one to do because it's a big product, a big thing to ship. But we will see. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, be sure to bring those forward. Look out next week. We're gonna hopefully have SMK on the live stream. Also, make sure tomorrow night, if you can't get enough of this lawn care content, be sure to see the America's Top Lawns with George. I'm gonna be on there tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Central, Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central. We're gonna be rapping about lawn care. It'll be very casual, kicking back. And so if you want more lawn care chatting, get over there, help support George. He does a really good job, puts on a great show. So guys, thank you again so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. Please like, share, comment. If you guys have not, if you know anyone who could benefit from this, be sure to share this with other people so they can watch too. And I will see you guys next week. Next week, there probably will not be a giveaway, but I will plan to do a very good giveaway around towards the end of this month. Maybe not Thanksgiving week, we'll see. Maybe Black Friday. Maybe Black Friday we'll do a cool giveaway, right? Maybe something special for that. So probably not next week, but the week following, there will be a great giveaway. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I will see you guys next time. Have an amazing weekend.